Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Smokehouse podcast number 2. Tonight's guest we have on Jeff Krupin, Chad Coogle, and also Travis Brock joins us later on in the podcast. It's going to be an interesting night. It's a lot of stories going back to the Brass Eagle days and how they got to be on Smoke. A lot of interesting topics coming up, a lot of laughs. So enjoy it. If you enjoy the podcast tonight or any of our podcasts, hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel. We do appreciate it. Visit our team site at teamsmokepaintball.com. Our online store is brimstonesmoke.com. You can check out our Facebook and our Instagram pages and all our sponsors right up here above me. They're all supporters. They're all great sponsors. Without them, we couldn't do it. So enjoy this podcast. Might get a little long, but I guarantee it's very entertaining for tonight. Join us next week. We are going to go live podcast. We're going to do a collaboration with Brad Gruitt from Midwest Action. He's going to interview some of us. We're going to interview him. We're going to do a 2-for-1 podcast. I don't know if that's ever been done before, but my podcast is going to be running with his podcast, and it's going to be a good time. So join us live next Thursday night, I believe. And thanks for subscribing. All right, welcome to number 2, the Smokehouse podcast. Our special guest, we got Mr. Jeff Krupin and Mr. Chad Coogle. One is on Team Smoke, the other one's on Brimstone. We are welcoming them tonight. Chat a little about some history. Between all three of us, I think we got a lot of history. Just take it away. Jeff Krupin, let's say hello. Just give us a little history. How you started in paintball, how you came about the Team Smoke, real quick.
What's up, everybody? Everybody knows me as Smokey, so just hello. Shout out to Trey, who's supposed to be on here tonight too.
Yeah. We're going to get him and Mike on. I think it would be better podcast with him and Mike anyway to talk about Brimstone.
Right.
Because they run that team with Mr. Coogle down there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think that'll be a really good podcast with them two on.
Oh, for sure.
But tonight I want to get a little history because I know you and Chad have a lot of history together on Brass Eagle All-Stars.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think, didn't you bring Chad to Smoke?
Yes.
I brought him
and to Brass Eagle. Yeah.
Yep. Brass Eagle All-Stars.
That's where I wanted to get into. I was wondering who was on what first, so take it away, Krup.
Yeah. I mean, I was co-captain of Brass Eagle All-Stars for all the success that we had with Nate Greenman as pretty much the team owner.
What is happening, Nate? Is Nate still around?
He's around, but he's not really into the sport at all anymore. So
I heard, and I could be wrong, but I heard he had a mild stroke not too long ago. So he's just kind of taking it easy. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's possible. I hadn't heard that. He reaches out every once in a while, and I hadn't heard that, but whatever.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, that's what I met Chad. We played against each other locally for years when he was on Team Energy, and we were with Team Landslide. Yeah, body count, landslide back in local, and then used to beat the shit out of the Energy guys all the time in Springfield.
Paint Games Plus. We used to come up for the Missouri Indoor. And I know we used to play against Spesh back then, a young Spesh.
Yeah, Missouri Magic. He was with Missouri Magic.
Missouri Magic. I remember that team.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't who played on? They were a War Games team, right?
Yes.
Spearing, Don Spearing, the real tall guy. He was the captain. He worked for War Games.
Yeah.
Spesh, and then Josh. I forgot his last name. The dad and the son. They both played on that team. From out that way, they were all Springfield guys, and then Spesh.
They actually had a pretty good team.
Oh yeah, no, they were good for quite some time. So
I had a few battles with them. I think it was Swarm.
Yeah,
Swarm
probably.
in Missouri. Maybe it was Center Flag too. I can't remember. But
probably.
All right, go. How far do you guys live apart?
Like 7-hour drive, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 400 miles. Yep.
Damn. So how did you two, like, how wasn't that a long drive for you guys?
Well,
basically Springfield was about halfway, like for both teams for for events.
Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Paint Games Plus was a big indoor outdoor field then, and they all had the big tournaments, and we would always battle those guys in the finals and stuff like that. So and that's how we became friends, and then just kind of recruited him from there for Brass Eagle once I was on that team. So
nice. Was that a long drive for you, Chad, to go to practice? Or where was practice at?
Practice was up in either Fayetteville or the Brass Eagle factory. So
that was in Missouri, right?
Yeah. So that was like up by Neosho,
yeah.
Gosh, so every weekend
we got compensated well, even for practices and stuff.
Yeah, I can't complain. So we did everything for free,
Oh, I know Brass Eagles well.
We did everything for free.
Well financed.
Very, very, very well financed. It was it was hard to leave when I did leave, but
Yeah.
No, for a little bit for me, I started playing literally the end of '98. I had been in some trouble with the law when I was younger.
What?
Yeah, I was actually locked up for about 360 days.
I didn't know male prostitution could do that for you. I mean,
anyway, so get out, kind of start, walking the path, doing things right, and start sliding back in my old habits, and then just realized I needed something else to put my energy and time into it, and had a buddy, I think he was turning 21 or 22 at the time, something like that, and had a paintball party, just 10 guys together, let's go play some paintball, and we showed up, rented some Tippmans, and had a blast. And
how was the after party?
So, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, I know, right? If anybody doesn't know, Krupin was down for a couple of weeks. Not the coronavirus, but he was down for a couple of weeks.
The team chat was missing the comebacks.
It definitely was.
It wasn't the same, right?
And I've watched a lot of podcasts lately. Brad's got a lot going on. And every time I hear somebody getting started in the paintball, it turns out everybody went to a birthday party.
Right.
It's weird. Yeah, I don't know.
So we go to Adventure Zone, which is a home field here. It's not Adventure Zone anymore. My friend John Overs owns it now. It's Avid North, but just got to play there last weekend. We had played some hood rat ball, locked the gates.
It's about the only paintball going on right now.
We had 10 people, So anyways, I hadn't played there in 20 years since 2000 when I left Energy to come to Brass Eagle. So it was a little, getting back into the game 14 years later here. It's bringing back some feels and some memories, but played with those guys, literally just from that day playing at that birthday party, the local team was out there, Energy. And that's when Kevin Hess was kind of putting it together and was like, hey man, how long have you been playing? I was like, haven't, first time ever playing. He's like, you're aggressive. We really need that. Would you be interested in joining a team? And I was like, hell yeah.
Damn.
So that's how I started.
Nice.
That next year, we went to the Dallas NPPL, I think in '99, got second. So we were like, hey,
5-man or 10-man?
5-man. 10-man. We saw 10-man there and was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to do. Our 2 5-man squads would make a heck of a 10-man, but it was kind of our, 2 5-man squads don't make a 10-man. We kind of realized, So anyways, we went back, played some local tournaments, the Paint Game Plus. I think we won it. It was a year supply of paint from PMI, so that funded our practices.
We must not have been at that event since you
we won it one time. I think we beat Who Cares. Do you remember that team? Which was
Elfie and them. Elfie played with
Camel.
them.
Yeah. That's push shots don't count, by the way. If
everybody doesn't know, Jeff Krupin's memory is like a freaking.
They call me Smokey, but I got a rock solid memory. Superpowers, I guess. I don't know.
So we did some local stuff, around here in the central area, and then we go to World Cup in '99 and win and we beat Strange in a dead man's walk, pissed them off. They had to play a whole nother year amateur because of that shit.
Really?
But I'm a World Cup champ, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Yeah, but did you say the dreaded dead man's walk made you a World Cup champ?
Shot myself in the foot to start it.
That kind of makes you a World Cup chump.
Yeah, but you know, back then, though, dead man's
it was
walk
still legal.
Yeah.
It was still legal.
Dead man walks back then was still cool.
Hey, the best I ever got a cup was second place. I'm just hating on you, brother, just because
it's all right. It's all right.
First time I ever got dead walked was I was playing with Swarm's amateur team, Team Fox. We were playing UK Predators, and I had the tape. I was blowing the tape, and I'm sitting there and watching this guy shoot. I thought I shot one of the guys, and he's walking up beside me, and all of a sudden I know I was getting shot in the back. He goes down, fucking shoots everybody, grabs a flag, and they win the game. And that's the first time I ever learned about dead man's walk.
Right.
I pulled a few off in my time, but.
Hey, let me see your tat, Tony. Show everybody your tat.
Oh.
The progress.
Which one? That one?
Oh, the forks.
That's the smoke one, and this one's not done yet.
Down.
Right.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of a copy of our jersey.
Right.
I've seen our jersey. It's got the flames, which is going to be all colored in. Wow, Chad's got the jersey right there.
Oh yeah.
So so it's got the flames going up. It's all going to be colored in with the tiger stripe, and then it's got the pitchforks, and it's going to fill in a little bit up there. But yeah, it's
the damn Rona's keeping the progress from getting completed.
I got it right at the start of the Corona's jersey. This took about 3 hours. He goes, all right, come on back and we'll color it. And then the next week he closed down. So I'm waiting to get back in. But yeah, I can't wait to get it colored in. It's going to be pretty cool.
It's looking
good.
This is
my paintball arm. I got this 2 years ago. And this is just going to.
Starting to get a little buffed up there too, aren't you?
That's that ultimate representation right there. That's that commitment there, homie.
That's
for
right.
sure.
That's commitment right there.
That's right. Damn right.
Yeah. So anyway.
So back to '99.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We win World Cup, and right after that, I mean, we were still AMB, but we thought, heck, man, let's make the jump to pro. Let's go, you know. But our team manager at the time didn't think we were quite ready, so I started putting the word out that I was kind of looking, and I think, you know, Krupin and Brooks and Sean and Eric Morrison, who's passed away this year recently, rest in peace for him, kind of, hey, we need to get that energy kid, that fast kid from Energy, and that's pretty much how that happened. And then first tournament with Brass Eagle, Mardi Gras, we win that sucker. So it just started like this. How many tournaments did we win there, Jeff? Like,
dude, you guys won the
first year.
There was Mardi Gras, IAO, 5 and 10, Ultimate Madness, Aruba, Memphis Indoor.
Yep.
We
went to Skyball. Me, you, Dearman went up to Skyball. I don't know how we placed there, but that was our first kind of. We got like food poisoning. Yeah.
Yeah, we got like 8th or something. We got knocked out by I don't know, sudden death stuff or whatever. But no, it was a run like I'd never had before of big events. We definitely smashed it. So
and the 10-man, we were like top 5. You know, we started. I think the LA was at the what field was that? SC Village. We played at that dirty sandy 10-man, that event there. That's that poster.
When we won Memphis, it was because that year we won everything. We battled Brimstone. That was when it was Brimstone.
That was our first.
That
was the first collaboration of Smoke This and Smoke That.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras. Yeah.
No. Memphis Indoor.
Right, but every one of those events, it was whether you guys could beat us in the prelims or not, whatever it was in the finals, we had the number for that year. Yeah. And then next year, you guys won all the same tournaments that we won.
We did. So, you guys were kind of like winning everything. You guys were pretty much the top amateur team.
Oh,
and then we formed Smoke, and then we started coming out and started winning everything.
And just like John said in episode 1, man, we were doing it with cockers and eggs.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy.
When I first joined Smoke, I had a cocker because that's when I worked for Center Flag when we came out with the electronic frame for the cocker, so that's what I was shooting most of the time. And then we got switched over to matrices. So
with Brass Eagle though, when we were winning all that stuff, we weren't shooting.
Not yet.
We
We had
whatever we were shooting angels and whatever.
Yeah, you
Little
guys were
mix.
shooting anything. You didn't sign with you guys didn't sign with War Games until Brass Eagle bought War Games, right?
It was 02, something around there.
Yeah, I was never on that team. I left and went to Shock Tech, and then Red's Factory, and then you guys were shooting cockers. I never shot a cocker with Brass Eagle. I never shot a cocker until Smoke, because the first event I played was World Cup when we shot
matrices. Yeah.
Halos and Hellfire. So I was using an IR3 Angel, playing with Red's Factory with an egg, shooting severe paint, and I got a Matrix with Halo and Hellfire, and playing 10-man from playing 7-man. It was just like, oh
totally
my God.
Two different worlds.
Yeah. I mean, it was like I couldn't tell you. I haven't shot as many people as I shot at World Cup that event in my life. It was fun.
Matrices was a good time.
Yeah. The very after that, then we signed with JT and had to shoot cockers the next season. So I only got to use that one event, but it was fun.
So Brass Eagles had a lot of, I guess, say top quality players on that team, and a lot of them are
come up through there. Yeah,
there was name a few of the guys that I already know who they are, but
let's see.
I mean, you guys had like an all. That's why you're basically called the All Stars, because you had an all-star cast on there.
Well, we had Michael Gilbert. He played with us a little bit. Brandon Mayo.
Tim Jenkins. Eric Dearman.
Yep.
Who both went to Dearman and Jenkins both went to All A's, right?
Yeah. Brandon Mayo.
Well, Jenkins still plays with the All A's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brandon Mayo. He was with the View Loader. He didn't play with Brass Eagle. He was on the View Loader team.
We were that family.
He came through the organization before, Avalanche and all that stuff.
Yeah. Paul Everett, most of Adrenaline.
Pretty much.
Ricky Tabers and all those guys. And
Brock played with us when we were the JT All-Stars.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So
actually Rico, when I came over, Rico was on the team.
Rico played a couple 10-man events with us. But
Kenny Chamberlain.
Kenny Chamberlain from War Games.
Dang.
Yeah, he held me down and put dirt in my ear.
Whatever.
I was talking shit at Atlantic City. Told him he couldn't do it. Wrong.
So what happened to the Brass Eagle team? How did it break up, basically?
I guess we all have our own.
Well, wait, let's start with this. How long did you stay, Chad, after Jeff left?
I was there another 3 years, I think. 3 seasons. I left there in 2004. Yeah, so from 01 to 04.
Dang.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the last year, Brass Eagle?
The Commander's Cup, where we got second place against Dynasty. And
I think 2005 or 2006 is when it totally ended. Yeah. Because after we did the short run with the JT All-Stars after everything, which was Brock, Tim, Drew Templeton.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Dang.
Which I forgot to mention him, obviously. Everyone knows who that is.
Yeah.
But that was after the fact. That was like a last run at it, was the JT, and then they pretty much – it was done after that because Nate –
Is that when Brass Eagle got out of paintball?
They weren't focused on it as much, and Nate kind of lost his position with the company that he had, which cost a lot of the funding at the time. So that's kind of why it disbanded. But
I'll tell you, here's my story, Brass Eagle. So my first year with Swarm, but was their amateur team, Team Fox. We sent off it was our first 10-man event in Vegas. And before then, we sent off a sponsorship proposal to JJ Brookshire. Remember him?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And for some reason, we got this I mean, it was a huge contract. It was like so many cases per event and practice event. We're like, what the hell? So we went to Vegas and we rocked. That paint, I'll tell you, it was some of the best paint I've shot. It was good. It was freaking bright ass. It was either orange or pink. I can't remember. And it shot good. We ended up beating Rage that event. And that's when Rage had, Todd was on Rage and, oh God, what's the other? But they started fighting the dead man box before the game was even over. And Todd actually came over to him. He's like, shut the hell up. We just got beat. All right. You know, he's like, so yeah, it was like, that was my introduction to Brass Eagle was JJ Berkshire gave us that contract. It was only for a year. Then I think they figured out what the hell did we just give these guys, you know? But,
right.
That's my introduction to Brass Eagle. And that's probably about the only time I ever shot Brass Eagle. But
And it was great. The sponsorship was amazing. And I'm not trying to be like disrespectful, but they gave us the benefit to use whatever we needed to use to win.
Yeah.
You know, like we weren't forced to use their product. We beta tested a lot of their stuff, the Revolution with the X boards and stuff, the eggs, the egg tubes. And all that stuff. They wanted us to win because that was better for their brand than just trying to force us to use something that was mass produced for Walmart.
Yeah.
So, and it worked real well.
We tried though. We tried with that JT gun. I remember driving up to the asylum and practicing against Smoke. We rented an RV and drove up there and practiced you guys with those. What was it, the JT Electra or the Accelerator? That was it. Dude, it was like the third game. I'm trying to shoot as fast as I can, and all of a sudden, pin flies out, bolt flies out. I was like, that's it.
I dropped mine. I'm not going to lie. I seriously drop kicked mine and refused to use it again at that practice. I
was
said,
was that the like spider kind of looked like one with the pin came out the top basically? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I think I remember that practice.
You probably do.
And right away.
That was the original. Was that the original Asylum, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That was did Kenny ever take you up into the Asylum?
No, I don't do scary shit. He wanted to.
I know. Using GZ Timmies at the time. A lot of your guys were using those GZ Timmies, and we're using those jankety spider wannabe piece of clappy junks. I'm not kidding. I punted that damn thing. I refused. I absolutely refused to use it. Just
tried, man. You remember I actually was doing some kind of trigger work on that thing and had a Dremel disc break and catch me in the corner of the eye and scared the shit out of me all over there. I was like, if this gun does not shoot after all this.
Well, you know, Smoke was always good friends with the Brass Eagle team. Even though we had some major battles on the field, we were always friends with all you guys. And that's the reason we ended up signing to use the hoppers was because we were all good friends with you and Nathan. You know, Nathan's pretty much said, "Hey, we'll give you the sponsor."
Yeah.
I remember every event I bring over a freaking bag full of freaking hoppers. Like, here you go, Nate. You know, the egg doors breaking off of them. I played many events where there was no door on it. You just kept on.
And if you had one that had the door and the battery on it, that was you were
gold. We had the freaking. I remember taping all the way around the egg and the battery.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, no, so Kenny never took you up in the Asylum.
No, I didn't want to go.
Oh, dude, it was.
I went up in there for sure.
Dude, it was freaking. It was first place, and then he took you down in the tunnel.
Oh,
the tunnel where they took the dead bodies out because they didn't want anybody to see them. Oh,
it was a real ass.
I'm getting chills right now thinking about it.
No, it's a real deal Asylum.
Did you ever watch the Ghost Hunters when they did that live? Dude, that was freaky. Yeah.
Did you see the Turtle Man at Kenny's place? Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one. No. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, Kenny Shell from he played with Smoke a lot.
Right.
But he has a Paintball Asylum, one of our sponsors actually, in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's a great field. Very great. Got AstroTurf, airball fields. And what we're talking about is when he first opened up, he bought this land that had one of the most haunted places in the United States. I think in the country or in the world or whatever.
Dude,
But it's an old tuberculosis asylum and so many people died there. And his field, pro shop was inside the asylum downstairs and the fields were right next to it. We practiced there a lot. But now he's moved the field. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's hence the name where Paintball Asylum came from.
Yeah, right. That was a crazy trip all around.
Oh yeah.
I remember we rented this RV and we pile in it, 7 people, 8 people deep, and we're driving from Fayetteville, Arkansas to Kentucky, and I see like classic signs of a tornado. I'm from Oklahoma. I'm like, hey guys, that doesn't look good, and I'm driving and we passed this county sign. I don't know, it was just like, say Henneman County.
Hey, were you scared? And you and Brooks, did you guys start huddling up and cuddle up in the RV on the ride? Did you think you feared for your life? So you figured you might as well just get some sweet loving from Brooks real quick?
Let me finish the story. So anyway, so we're driving down this highway, and I'm just holding the wheel, and all of a sudden the radio is like, there's a tornado siren, a tornado warning in Henneman County, and I passed the county sign, Henneman County. I'm like, holy shit, all of a sudden the wind hits and I'm holding the wheel this way just to go straight. And I'm like, we pull over on the side of the road. Yeah, I won't lie. Me and Brooks, we got in the back of that son of a bitch and we hunkered up for a second. I thought we were going to die. And then within 10 minutes, just like that, it's gone. We're like, okay, let's go play some paintball.
Dang.
So you just made those hand movements, Chad, like this. Skiing. Who were you skiing with there back there, buddy?
Driving. Skiing is like side to side,
And speaking of Brass Eagle, Eric Parks wanted me to give Jeff some crap tonight. What did he say? He thought we were going to go live. I told him we weren't doing live, but he wanted to talk about IAO 2001 was off the hook. Next time I'll shoot him first.
If I had $1 for every time I've heard Eric Park say that or anybody else, I'd be a rich man, and I'm not rich. So, I may be old school and shit, but I still handle my business. So,
yeah. So, Krup, when did you first start playing? How did you get in paintball?
Actually, my ex-brother-in-law, I went on a New Year's Day big game here at Wacky Warriors. Wacky in Huntsville.
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest thing. There was like 400 people there.
I've been to one of those before, yeah.
And you as a golf guy, I used to golf every weekend. I played paintball one time, and I never picked up golf clubs ever since.
Yeah, it's kind of I've kind of retired a few times because of paintball.
Right. And then just basically every weekend forever, just playing. And that's how I met Brock and Tim locally. And then first team I played on was called Airhammer. I don't know if you know Eric Kilgore that used to have Gateway paintball.
Yeah, I know Kilgore.
And everything.
Yeah.
He ran that team, so that was just a local team, and just got into that, and then landslide and body count, which was me, Brock, Tim, and just kind of whoever. And then the first big team after that was, I guess, Brass Eagle.
Brass Eagle.
How'd
you even get picked up for that?
Well, Nate guested with us on Landslide in a 10-man in Nashville. And we actually beat Avalanche in the prelims or whatever. And it was like our first 10-man event. And then that's how that team kind of got started. And me and Nate started talking about it. And then Tim left. So it was me, Tim, Nate, kind of just started because he just said, hey, look, I got all this money from basically at the time the biggest company in the sport.
Yeah.
And everything was covered and then some, and we just kind of built it from there. So it was kind of a no-brainer.
They made a few bucks off the Stingray.
Yeah. No. The Rainmaker didn't really do so well, but the
Rainmaker. I remember the Rainmaker. Everybody knows Pat O'Toole used to work for Brass Eagle.
Yep.
Matter of fact. I was playing with the Wisconsin team called MVP, Norwegian Voodoo Posse, and that's where Pat and I have been playing together that long. So that's probably, maybe 30 years ago. That's where Robin Brockner came from. That's where Tristan came from. All Smoke players. His brother, Robin's brother, also played. I don't think he played with us, but he played. He played with Sock Tech. Yeah,
I played with Brian on Sock Tech.
Yeah, so just that little. And then Nick was the captain. Nick Scar. He plays for Fight Club right now, but he started that, and I met him. And anyway, it was one of our first 5-mans. We were playing down here in World Cup at the old Paintball World, right behind Old Town.
Right.
And Pat comes up. It was like we were walking field. He's like, dude, look at this. I think he was still working for Bass Eagle then. He's like, got this Rainmaker, you know, and I think he played one game with it, maybe. And, he thought it was the greatest invention in the world. It was going to break all paintball barriers, you know. And yeah, it was. That was my first. Never saw one ever again, I don't think. And I think Pat gave up on it. But
I think didn't Malcolm and those guys at Brooks use them like toys or whatever?
Yes.
And then that same thing is because when me and Tim and stuff came on board, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have to have something that works. Like it doesn't, you know. And that's when we kind of got our own free reign, you know.
Well, it was supposed to be like a futuristic gun, right? It was supposed to be like, like the next future in the
big
deal,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
What was the thing about it? How is it different from the rest of it? I don't even remember. I'm sure when I have Pat on here, he'll tell me all about it. But
yeah, I really honestly didn't really get.
It was kind of like a cockerish, kind of like has some cockerish parts
electronic. In it. It was supposed to be like a closed bolt style.
Yeah,
but
it had a 3-way in it too, right? Didn't it?
Yeah. And it's just the electronics. They just had cheap electronics. They just weren't reliable. They said they could run on CO2 too, and it's just like the original Shocker turbos where they said those could run on CO2.
Yeah.
It was kind of doomed from the start, unfortunately.
Well, the All-A's did run them on CO2, but they filled half of it with CO2 and the other half was compressed air.
You would see them running every once in a while.
In them too.
They
didn't tell you had to run siphon tubes in them also. You know, they're like, CO2 is fine, but you need to have that siphon tube in those tanks.
Exactly. Yeah.
But whatever. It's whatever.
So how long have you been playing, Jeff? When did you start?
I started in 2000.
Wow.
I went full.
Really? 2000? No way.
Full tilt. Yeah. Maybe 99. I'm sorry. 99. But once I started, it went full tilt. I mean, I was here playing national shit within the first year and, you know, all the time. So
that's the same with me. Chad, when did you start?
It was the end of 98. And from 98 to World Cup 99, I had a Spider, a Mini Mag, an LED Angel, an LCD Angel. And so it was like, it was one of those. I went to a football game here, Oklahoma Sooner football game, and it's one of those get a free T-shirt if you fill out a credit card, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I got approved. So when I got it in the mail, Dad didn't know. So I was like, oh, hell yeah, to the paintball store we go.
Wow. Tony, Dustin told me to throw a shout out to the tactical, untactical retweeter we call Jesse. So
Jesse?
Dustin Leffler, there's my shout out to the untactical Jesse.
You know, I might have Jesse on here one time. You know, we give him so much shit. I know him probably a lot better than a lot of you guys do. And
I was looking forward to meeting him and didn't get a chance to.
I like him.
He's a good guy. It's
I like him.
No, he's a good guy. And, you know, I wish things could have been different. I actually still tried to get him on Brimstone. And I was still talking with Trey, trying to get him on Brimstone. He's a hell of a player. And I got to thank him because when I retired from paintball, I came back. I told this in the first one, but I came back and I put out a post in, I think it was PB Nation saying, you know, I want to get back into it. It was like 2 weeks before Cup, you know, and I went to one practice with him and, you know, I was with them. Heck, matter of fact, it just came up with my memories. We won 2 of the local tournaments down here in a row. It was Social Paintball League. Social Paintball, they have their own league down here, and we won 2 tournaments in a row, back to back. So that's where Turbo came from, Justin. That's where JT came from. Jesse came from that team. Jake and Zach and Pat also came from that team. So that's my Florida connection. And Jesse's a hell of a guy. Jesse did a lot for that team. You know, he was the one that got everything together, got practices together, money together. And so I owe Jesse a little bit. So I might have him on here.
Oh no, it's all. I like to do
it. Tactical retreat, man.
Tactical.
Yeah. So anybody doesn't know, I might wait for that story. But
yeah, wait on that one.
I will. But it was funny. I'll give a little glimpse of it. We were playing Cap in Chicago last year. Not last year. Was it?
No, it was ICPL.
ICPL Chicago.
And it was it wasn't Cap. It was Adrenaline on the Hyperball. We played Cap.
No. Oh, he did it there too, but he also did it against Cap.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm sitting there at Cap, and I'm in my bunker, and I'm shooting. All of a sudden, I see Jesse flying by me. I'm like, where the hell are you going? He goes all the way back to the starting station, and all of a sudden, he comes all the way back up, gets back in his bunker, and he shoots like 2 or 3 guys. I'm like, I don't know. I'll let him tell the story, but that's a funny story.
I'll make a short one because the one on Hyperball, the untactical tactical that the name actually originated from was we were losing that game, and he was at a stand-up, and he ran back to go towards the head of the snake, and Danny Manning, Mr. Trauma Head, actually shot him like 8 times in the back of the head as he was retreating back. So that's why it was a tactical untactical, because Danny shot him as he was fucking running back. And hey, I just felt blessed to be there because, for years and years I wasn't even around.
And I want to get into that too.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, I can tell you honestly, I kind of remember it, but I don't remember it. I want to know, I want to know all about what happened to you. Why did you basically retire from paintball, Jeff?
Well, I had a business. I had a field and a store. My business partner, I was running it 7 days a week, so I kind of had to not play as much because I had to focus on my family and my business.
Yep. And
then that individual, which Dustin knows as well, kind of got me for a lot of money on our partnership. You probably know him too. I'm not going to throw shade out here on this, but that's why I got out of it. Was back into automotive again. I literally broke my back, snapped a disc off in my back. Worked like that for 2 years, whatever. Finally had surgeries, which were way worse than before. And that's why I couldn't be involved in paintball, period, because I've never been a spectator. And, Anthony had reached out to me about helping coach and stuff like that. And I couldn't even bring myself to be around the guys because at the time I could hardly even walk. I didn't know if I was going to ever really walk normal again, much less be able to suit up and be out on the field, Well,
and I remember because Anthony says Krupin's going to come help coaches, but you never did show up. And I think you just said that. It's hard to be a player and then come and start coaching.
Psychologically, I wouldn't have been a benefit because it would have hurt too much to be able to see it and not be able to be a part of it because I had never been that way. I had been a coach and a leader for teams I played on, but I was on the field doing that as well.
And you were in the chat. You were all in the chat rooms. You're always on in the chat rooms, and but then you never did show up. Then all of a sudden, Krupin comes out and says,
I'm coming to Tampa.
I want to play. And we're like, what? Whoa, wait a minute. And Jonathan and Anthony are off to the side in a different chat room going, what the hell's going on? I didn't think he could play ever again. And we were like, I don't know.
And the first time out of Tampa, it didn't look like I could because my shit was
so yeah. So I was even questioning it then also because very first game we practiced, you played pretty good. For the first game out, you played pretty good. But then you're like, I think I'll set the next game. You're like, I think I'll set the next game. And I think you played the very last game of the day, right?
No.
That was a 2-day practice, wasn't it?
Yeah. The very first game, I fucking went into the snake like dove into the snake. And you're like, what
because I was snake corner. All of a sudden, I see freaking Krupin diving into the snake. I'm going, what the hell is he doing? He can't even hardly walk.
And Trey was on the side reffing. And as soon as I did, I go, motherfucker, that hurt. I should not have done that shit. And he was laughing at me, and there I'm laying on my belly, and I'm like, oh, I didn't break, so. And by no means, that was the first time I'd even been on the field in over a decade, and I definitely didn't play worth a shit, but I built up my confidence and my abilities of not breaking in half of playing.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, man, after that practice, I'm like, Jonathan, man, man, I don't know. He could barely even walk, you know. I'm like, but then I'll give you credit. You came back and you came back and you came back. And the last 2 tournaments, you've just been friggin' mowing people and kicking butt. I mean, you really have. So the old Krupin's back.
Get out, I'm down.
Working hard, man. It's just commitment to getting back to, you know, as good as I can do to help the team as much as possible. That's I could be wrong, but don't you still have like screws and stuff in your back? Or yeah, I've got a titanium cage and screws that aren't going nowhere. I mean, it's a lot of it's mind over matter too. You know, I know my limits. You know, I tried playing in the back the first event, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm not a back guy. Never have been. And I'm not as fast as I used to be, but I'm mid. Yeah. Mid, and then get up in the middle of shit and handle business. And that's just, you know, back to doing that. So. Yeah.
And we're happy to have you, because when you came on, I think you were my replacement on Smoke. Because when I left, that's when you came on. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So my dumbass left Smoke and moved to Florida, where I'm currently residing now for 20 years. But yeah, it was one of the biggest mistakes I ever did. And we never got to play together. We always played against each other, but I left and you came to Smoke. And we really didn't play together until you came back that first practice at Rico's place a couple of years ago. Yeah.
That first year that I played with Smoke at Cup, that was the first year that technically I went pro with Red's Factory with Marcus Nielsen and Rocky and Chris Cole and Carmen. And all the way up until World Cup, I was playing with them. And then I played Cup with Smoke, and then I just stayed. And then that's when we went. Yeah, we went 7-man pro the following season, and Rocky and Greg, the cheater Hastings, jumped on the 7-man. I mean, hey, love the dude, but I swear to God, between him and Marcus, they've got me pulled on 1-for-1s more than they've shot people in games.
I got a funny story about Marcus. So when I went and played with Fury, Scotty's team, I played with Fury. Yeah. This was the hugest crowd I ever played for. It was at World Cup. You know, it was against Avalanche. It had all the All-Stars. It had Losoya, and it had, you know, Marcos was on the team, and Rocky was on there, and everybody. And it was Fury. And that's when they had, I think it was on the JT field. They had the announcer there. They had the semi-trailers there. I swear to God, there was 10,000 people watching that game. It was huge. And we were playing in. We held our own, man. But I remember Marcus. I shot Marcus. I freaking gogged him. And instead of him just running out to the side, he ran to the back and then walked around to the side and came out. I was shooting him the whole time because I know Marcus, you know, for battling at Badlands so many times, and just didn't hate the guy, but just had a passion for him, you know. So as soon as I shot him, I couldn't even tell you what went on the whole game. All I know is I was just shooting him all the way, and he was trying to get away from me. He was running. That's my story with Marcus. We ended up losing the game, but it was a fun game.
A little fun one in Chicago, playing with him. First Chicago 7-man pro with Reds. We're playing Bad Company on the Spider Field, and all my buddies were there because it was Chicago. On the sidelines, I jumped into the 50. Within the first 30 seconds, I shot 5 fucking people and 7-man within the first 45 seconds. I thought there was only one guy left in the back can, so I went to go stab him. There was another guy in the snake. He shot me right before I got to the can. Whatever, no big deal. Didn't bunker him. I went past all my buddies in the fucking sideline, and I'm like, that's how you represent the STL, motherfuckers. Woo, woo, woo. Box, right? By the time I get to the fucking dead box, I look up and our whole team is walking off the fucking field. Oh. Marcus got a fucking 4-for-1 pulled. Oh. Rocky got a 2-for-1. And so I was like a 2-year-old beating on the ground because, like, literally we went from, I don't know how we could have not won till we lost. You talked about choking. I literally grabbed Marcus in the dead box and was strangling him, and he was on my team. I'm like, you motherfucker, what are you doing? Like, that dude, I love him to bits, but I swear to God, on the fucking field with that dude, I couldn't tell you how many times I almost smacked the shit out of him for costing us so much.
Game,
he didn't care. I've seen him get gogged, flip the crowd off, wipe that shit, and run down the field. Like, if he was running down the field, that means he got shot.
He was shot.
I mean, that's just all there was to it. And, I mean, whatever. Anyway, that's my fucking – you were talking about choking him. I literally choked him on the field on my team.
Yeah.
So,
it was funny. And you call him, Marcus, a little cheater. But I remember when he played for Shock and he got friggin' gogged. And he looked over at the crowd and he goes like this. Yeah. And he went right back to just playing again, I mean, that was Marcus. You knew it was Marcus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is he had a lot of talent. I mean, he was a talented kid, and he had some games where he blew up the whole, but it was just it was just his character.
Right. Yeah.
I got ties with him too. I mean, when things changed at Brass Eagle and I was going to have to start paying to drive up there every weekend, I was talking to him at the time, and he pulled me over to Arsenal. That's why I left Brass Eagles to go play for Arsenal.
Oh, I forgot him. He played with JC on Arsenal, didn't he?
Yeah, I played.
But he was running out of teams to play with.
One tournament over there, it was
Tom
Vegas.
Ford definitely gave him his last little hoorah, for sure.
Right. Yeah. Played one tournament with them, didn't fit in. Came back. I think my daughter was born in 04, got married in 05, and had another one coming in 06, and was playing with Texas Storm, and kind of finished out there, and then that was it. When my son was born in 06, I quit playing.
Yeah.
And then it was literally watching you guys play ICPL Atlanta.
Well, no, Atlanta was just a event.
The event, yeah.
That was Lane's event. It was the first event after the first ICC.
Right.
And Jonathan, I tried to get
all my followers, my haters.
Yeah, I tried to get Smoke to go to the first ICC, and it was just, how, we'll go, but nobody ever did anything. So. But when the Lanes event came up, that's when I was like, we got to get the band back together. And that's what I called it. So, yeah, I got a lot of the OGs back there. The only one that really wasn't OGs was the tripods. They came along.
Yeah.
And, then you hadn't been playing until we brought you.
No, I hadn't played. Yeah. Well, I quit playing in 06, and then I got together with some local guys around 08, 09, just played for the day. And, like riding a bike, I was like, I could do this, but I know what I want. Like Smokey, I don't want to just do it. I want to, if I want to play paintball, I want to play tournament paintball. Yeah. That's what we know. So then that was 09. I just got into, put it in the air, bro. I had just got into the golf business, actually. I was about, not too far from becoming a Class A pro like you.
It always goes back to golf. You know that? It always goes back to golf.
I got through playing paintball and then became tried to become a Class A. But anyways, I spent 10 years at a golf course. Had some back issues, nothing like Smokey, of course, but I've got some bad issues myself. And literally watching you guys play, I was like, oh my God, it's about that time. It's been so long. I think I'm just going to go play and have fun. Was chatting with Smokey on, I think it was the first ICPL of 2019. You guys had played, what was it?
We got seventh.
Seventh, right. And that's, you were on like
we made the semis, but then we just.
Yeah. Right. You guys
stalemated on that big field in Badlands, and it was what it was. We did good. That was our first event with all that crew together, and we had no practice. We played well.
We did make the semis, but we played GZ, we played Shock Tech, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Gunfire, no, Shock Tech. Yeah, and then we played the team who won. We still made it. We lost against the team who won, but then we still made it GZ and Shock Tech.
Right. And the only reason we lost,
we didn't really do too bad, but that team that won, I think, was AAF something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the reason why we lost that game was because they pulled those phantom 1-for-1, that whole left side.
Yeah, that whole
Scotty
left
got
side.
a 1-for-1, and then Jake got a 2-for-1 for no reason. And me and you were like, on the right side, just getting blown to bits. Like, how the hell did that happen?
Well, Matt and I got shot. You know, I'm like, Matt, I think, because Matt and I were down in the gully.
Right.
And
I was behind you guys towards the center more.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm like, Matt, I think our whole left side's gone. Next thing I know, I'm getting shot in the back. And
But that's what happened. They pulled those guys, and that they were able to just run down that side of the field.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been a little different. But hey, it's paintball. It happens.
And we'd only had the one practice going into that. We had the two-day practice in Tampa going into the Chicago event, and we were feeling pretty good actually.
You guys played well. You played well.
We played well. I mean, we beat Cap. That was a big win for us.
When I turned on the stream, you guys were playing Cap, and I watched that shit show go down, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, I wanted to be there, just
it was fun.
Spectate.
That was my first tournament back, and that was like one of the first games I played, and I knew I was back after that one because I fucked them dudes up pretty good.
Right.
I mean, that was.
Our first two games were on the hyperball field, the three-man, 5-man / hyperball field. It wasn't a 10-man field for sure.
No, right.
And and normally we're a good hyperball field, but that field we lost. The first time we ever lost to Adrenaline was on that field ever in Smoke history. First time we lost to Adrenaline.
Hey, I've still never lost because I wasn't on the field. I watched that shit.
So you know. And then we lost to Misfits, but then we went to the Woods, and it was a different story there.
Right. So I was watching that, and pretty much was looking through my phone. Typed in Krupin, nothing popped up. Typed in Smokey, boom. I was like, hey, what's going on? And he was like, watching these finals, I was like, I know, dude, I'm watching the stream. And he was like, what's up, man? How's it been? Blah, and we just started yapping. And I was like, dude, I want back, And he was like, ICC's coming up, roster's full. He's like, but, show your heart, show you really want to. And dude, I drove down to St. Louis, palled up with him. We drove another 11 hours. Up to ICC, he played.
You guys have got some mileage on you. I mean, I've driven a lot in my paintball life to practices. See my little puppy. Here's my other little puppy dog.
Right.
But you guys, man, Trey's put some miles on.
Trey, hey, road warrior. That's my road. Hey, and 100%, I owe that dude.
Yeah.
I owe you guys, Tony, Anthony for sure for being on my ass to get back, but as far as committing to get back, Travis has fucking been my rock behind shit when I was financially bummed out. He made sure I had equipment. He made sure that we got to the event. Like, I owe that dude
he's
all
good.
that and then some. That dude
he's done for you what I've done for pretty much Anthony.
Right. But I look at him as a brother, and I've known him for 20 years too. I mean, he's as good of a guy as it gets, and I owe a lot.
You're going to get lucky because I think he's going to be coming on here in a few minutes, so we'll get to chat with him for a little bit.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, he just messaged me. So
that's how my comeback 14 years later.
Well, I remember at ICC when you brought him along, and it's the first time I'd seen you in since the Brass Eagle days. Yeah. And every time we go play, Chad's like, well, I can make that bunker. I can make it. I'm like, who the fuck's this guy come up to me telling me he can do this shit, But then I'll give you credit, man. You stuck with us. You helped us out. You loaded pods and everything.
Whatever it took. Yeah.
I don't know if I could. All I remember is you in my ear going, well, I could have made that bunker and shot that guy. I mean, that's like, goddamn. But then you came. Did we have a practice for the next?
No.
So you just showed up to Lakeland to CFP.
And that was kind of one of those things too, where it's like I still hadn't, you needed a body, but yet it was still kind of wasn't confirmed, And then even coming into the second event at the ICPL 2019, I think Jake got sick. Remember,
Jake got sick.
Yeah, so I was going to,
He
my
had
plan,
bronchitis or something.
right. I was going to sign a sub in or play mid or insert.
And we're like, Chad, hey, guess what? You're playing every game.
You looked at me and said, hey, you're taking the snake. Oh,
yeah.
Right on.
Or the
and
tank.
you played the snake and the tank freaking awesome, dude. I mean, I was behind you, you know, in the snake on the hyperball field. And then,
me and Krupin, we drove that tank. That was our plan right off the get-go.
That's right. You two were freaking killing the
tank.
To the 50. I still watch them videos from that tournament. You guys were just killing it. Now I think Tom switched it up a little bit the last event where you guys were more accessible there in the tank, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because you guys, both you guys lived in that tank for quite a while, almost every.
I didn't get shot going to that tank except for the last game versus Doc's Raiders, and when I came around that stand-up pipe, there were 3 guns.
Oh yeah.
Right at me from the bottom side. From the top side, you didn't see that. It was,
they laned the hell out of us. I mean, they did. Their freaking guns were rolling the whole time. Every bunker I was in, it was just getting pelted the whole time. I mean,
we were down 4 bodies in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that was They watched us. We didn't adjust like we should have, but we hadn't played on.
The man's coming on. But there he is.
What's up?
Oh shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Travis Brock. He is our was on Team Smoke, but then we asked him and Mike Thompson, aka Charm City, to come along and run our second team, which is Brimstone. Welcome to the show, Travis.
What's happening?
Jeff was just giving you some kudos here before you came on.
I gave you mad love, dude. Right before you got on. You got it. You'll hear it, brother. Nothing but all love for you, my bro. All love.
I was gonna watch. I was gonna watch this shit.
Hey. You'll be proud. You'll be proud. I promise.
So everybody doesn't know. Hey, I got mine. Duncan. Oh.
Well, on that note,
hey man, I got this too.
On that note, hold on
I'm empty. I'll be right back.
Hey, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you remember when I first made this? The first time I met you?
Yeah.
I brought this into the pizza place.
Yep. In Chicago. No, in Lakeland, right? Not Lakeland. Rico's practice, right?
No, it was up in Chicago, ICPL.
Oh yeah, the Chicago. Yeah. We went to that pizza joint for
Yeah, that was the first event. That's the first event we had played together.
Yeah.
Remember, I told the lady, I said, excuse me, I'm sorry, but I have to bring this in. I said, this is my medicine. I have to take a colonoscopy. And I said, I have to just clean my system out. And this is like my system out. I'm sitting there.
All right, so Jeff and Travis, tell us about your history. Everybody wants to know.
So I know you guys have been talking to Jeff for quite a while, but like throughout the whole history, like Jeff was one of the original like rock stars from the St. Louis area.
St. Louis is, huge rock stars in that area. A lot.
We had a lot of talent, man, out of here. And I was a little bit younger. So like when I was trying to get out and get my feet wet and play, like I started playing in 96, you know what I mean? But I was a young guy. And I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have, a lot of support to play. I kind of just got a lot of hand-me-downs and stuff. Like teams, I remember when I was coming up, they used to call me Frankenstein because they had to piece me together to play tournaments. Like, hey, I got so-and-so's mask, so-and-so's gun, so-and-so's cleats. So that's why I was Frankenstein for a long time.
I think we have a person on the team like that right now.
Yeah, I think we probably got a couple. So that's kind of why, if you notice now that I'm on a whole other platform, I do the opposite now. I
same with me.
Have stuff for everybody because I used to always be the guy that needed something. So I always want to make sure I have extra stuff.
I got 2 gear bags. I got my gear bag and I got everybody else's gear bag.
Exactly.
Mostly Anthony's gear bag, but that stopped now because he bought all his brand new stuff. But it was mostly Anthony's bag and my bag.
I got one of Ant's old bags out there, man. It's full. Yeah. I got 3 bags out in the garage full. I just cleaned the garage. Yeah. I found stuff. I found more old JT pants, old jerseys, old Avalanche jersey. I'm like, shit, man, I got too much shit. Well, good thing I got 3 bags.
But no, man, Trey, I was basically just showing mad love on how you got me back committed into the game after my back situation and shit, and you pushed it. And you helped me when I was, down and out with all kinds of shit, and fucking, I've had mad love for like the last 20 years we've known each other and shit, like shit comes full circle, so it was, it's just, it's what it's all about, man, all about it. So
well, Travis, let's talk about the Brimstone team. So I'll start out, we started getting more and more people as Smoke started playing more. We started winning more, since in the last 2 years, and everybody wanted to play for us. We were getting people left and right wanting to play for us, but we've always been like this. We've always been choosy. We don't just get anybody on the team. So if you're on Team Smoke, it's a privilege to be on Team Smoke because, we want you to be on there. We don't take anybody. Basically, so it just kept like, okay, this person can play. All of a sudden, we had almost 30 guys, and I'm like, holy shit, what the hell am I going to do? So I approached Jonathan. I'm like, Jonathan, I think we should start a second team. Well, at first he was like, Smoke's always been one team only. I was like, yeah, but I think with our sponsors and everything, it'll help out with sponsorship and stuff like that. So, and then I think me and Krupin talked about who was going to run it, and he was the one who recommended you, right? Was that right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
me and Anthony were talking about it quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think then we got you going on. He goes, well, I'll talk to Trey about it, see how Trey, because Trey was playing with Smoke, so was Chad. But yeah, I think right now we have 27 or 28 guys. So it was we could almost field 3 teams if I wanted to, but it's just too much.
But and as much as we love Will and all the GZ thing is we want winning teams to represent our sponsors, not just to have like Destiny and all these other randoms. So it's a family, regardless if it's Brimstone or Smoke, we're a fucking family all together. It's not just to fill out a roster. We're here to win and represent.
Exactly. So so I took pretty much all our Florida guys except for me, and then you brought along a bunch of St. Louis guys, and then formed Brimstone, and then I'll let you go on from there because you know more about the team. I mean, I know a lot about the team, but I pretty much handed it over. I handed it over to you and Mike's like, here you go. This is your team. You come to me for advice or something like that, but it's your team. You run it, and that's exactly what you did, and you can take it from there.
Right. Well, from the beginning, man, it was like, Smoke was that family that I was always got to be in the background and watch grow and being tight with Krupin. And I remember there were situations where he's like, man, we're going to do this. We're doing that. We're going to go ref this event. Come ref this event with me. Like we talked about going to Aruba, and there was too many like disconnections. Everything just fell through, man. And
what happens in Aruba stays in Aruba.
Exactly. Hey. So I'm one of the few, and I'll say this to the day I die, that did not go visit a whorehouse in Aruba. That's nasty.
I did not either. I stayed in my hotel room. I was a good boy.
All the guys kept coming back saying, man, there's this hot blonde chick. I'm like, you nasty fuckers all fuck the same fucking girl. You gross fuck. So anyway, sorry, Trey. Back to you, sir.
Go ahead, Trey.
No. So it was like, man, we kept missing that connection there. And he's like, I remember one time I was out of town and he started getting in the business side of it. So Krupin stopped playing. And I was like, shit, man. So I'm going to help him with this field stuff. So he was building the Bing shop in this big cage that we had right next to Highway 70, where I don't know if he talked about it earlier. Like, it was a big field for the area, man. And it was like, you know, the Ultimate Madness crap. We're running like 3-mans like every day during the week, all day, just going ape shit. And he was like, man, Anthony and Jonathan are coming out, man. You got to meet the Call Brothers. He's been telling me about the Call Brothers all this time. You got to meet them. You got to meet them. They're coming out. They're going to help. You know, you got to meet them. You guys will be like this. And, you know, it's taken this long for me to meet you guys and to catch up with you guys. So when all this 10-man stuff started kicking back up, before me and Jeff even really talked about it, I had already knew that it was starting to get big, and I was like, this has got to be something that we're tying back into, man. Like, I was pumped. It had the fire going again. It like I was just getting intense, dude. Like, that intensity was coming back out, and I'm like polishing up all the old shit. Like, hey, let's go get some motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So then he said that this was popping up, and like, okay, let's go to Florida. Let's get this on. And then next thing you knew, like you said, Tony, we had so much talent and family, and like when certain people couldn't make events, you had to have people play, otherwise you weren't making events. So we ended up with damn near 2 rosters worth of people. And then I'm like, when you guys talked about, hey, we'd like for you to run the second squad, I'm like, bet, dude, that's killer, because I got guys. Everybody's got a boy, right?
Right.
Well, I got guys that fit right in. You know what I mean? But it ain't just about being a killer. You gotta have what it takes to be on Smoke too. You gotta be family. So you know, you guys know me by now. I'm not gonna bring nobody to the table that ain't Smoke fam. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and then I'll come in on the family thing, and that's what I've always said about Smoke. Smoke is a family. It always has. It always started going down to the farm and practicing down at the farm while I'm a call fixing her friggin' food. You know, I mean, and if you look, a lot of smoke guys never went and played with anybody else. It's like they played with Smoke, and when Smoke died, they quit playing. That was it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, that's why I say we're always a family, because we've always kept in touch when we weren't playing. You know, we're always good friends. I think Jonathan and I talk almost every single day. He'll call me on his way home from work, you know, or I'll talk to him, or we'll text. I mean, something's going on. So we've always, and that's why I say we're such a close-knit family, because how many other teams can you say the same guys have played for that same team for how many years, you know?
Hey, that's that loyalty, man.
That's right. So
that's loyalty, man. And not a lot of people individually have loyalty, let alone an entire team of motherfuckers have loyalty.
Yeah.
You know, that's the family.
Yeah. So go ahead.
There was no other team that when I was coming back, there was no other team that I would have come back and played for. I had opportunities to play with several other teams, and there was never even an option in my mind. I was either coming back to Smoke or I wasn't playing again on a team. So
and I kept telling my Florida guys down here, you know, we had 2 teams. We had Jake's team, and then we had mine and Jesse's team. Well, Jesse played for Jake's team, then we started winning. So Jesse kind of slipped down to our team. But I kept telling them, I was like, you know, they go to practice, and I've told Jake this. They'd show up. They won their very first event, and they thought they were, you know, pretty good. So they come to a practice and play 2 or 3. They play a game, then they go off and smoke their shit, you know. Then they come back and play another game, practice, and then they play like 2 or 3 games, and they were gone. And you know how Smoke always practiced? It was like boom, 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 boom. You know, freaking 20 games in a couple hours. And when you left practice, you were exhausted. And I'm like, man. So I kept telling them, like, you haven't seen a practice. You come to. I wish you could see a Smoke practice. I wish you could see a Smoke practice. You know, and I kept pumping it up. Now, the one thing I remember of Jake when we were in Chicago, Jake goes, I have never run so far to my first prop, you know, my first bunker ever. And Jake, every time you talk to Jake, he's like so excited about Tin Man. He's like, Tin Man is the best thing in the world, you know. If I could only get friggin' Justin to say the same thing, you know. But yeah, it's cool seeing those kids that have never played Tin Man before. You bring them on to, you know, Smoke and Brimstone, and to see what the other side of paintball is besides X-ball.
That's it. And Jake's just good family. Like his dad coming to the events helping, you know.
His dad actually played with us the last practice at Rico's place.
Just good people, man. Like when people know us, they know that it's a family, and they'll do whatever, you know, whatever it takes. And it's awesome. So,
all right, so go ahead, Trey. How did you get the Brimstone guys together?
Oh man, just like when you guys said something about it, I'm like, man, that's a fucking awesome idea. I think it's great. The first thing that came to mind, and Jeff already mentioned, you know, it's like, hey, you know, no knock to anybody else, but let's not be the Walmart of paintball where you have so many teams, because we ain't gonna water down what Smoke's all about. You know what I mean? Yep. But we're gonna find guys that fit the bill, and we already had them. You know, we already had the guys. And now we got a great mix of experienced OGs with the mix of young killers, you know what I mean? And it was just a great opportunity in my eyes, especially for me to bring in some of the young guns that I've been playing with, that, you know, to pull the OGs out of the woodwork up here in St. Louis. It's like, man, I'm running around with these guys. It's like, you know, these guys got to get with this man program. Yeah. And it's cool too having two units too, man. So like me and Mikey keep in touch, and like me and Coogle and Chuck we got out in Indianapolis. You know, so we got a unit that's almost like two separate units. Like
exactly. You got the Florida guys, and you got the St. Louis guys, and then you got Chad and Chuck.
Right. So I'm gonna claim them as Midwest. I'm gonna say they're Midwest. Yeah. Now, Oklahoma's pushing it, man. Say that's Midwest, but I'm gonna claim him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We know everybody's watching the Tiger King. Okay. We know crazy shit goes on here in Oklahoma.
Chad. Hey, hold on, real quick, Chad. We know you're close in that vicinity. Your ass would have been husband number fucking 3. Happily. You probably actually stroked him off at the Tiger Park at least once.
If anybody doesn't know, this is what our chat room is all the time.
It's rough. It's not for the weak-minded, that's for sure.
And I'll be honest, you know, I was kind of hesitant on telling Chad he's going to go play with Brimstone, because we had Dan come in, who Dan used to play he was the original Smoke or Snake guy when they played 7-Man Pro. I never knew him from the start, but
that's him right there in the poster from HB, if you can see it.
Okay.
Danny Dell.
Yeah, Danny Dell.
Dan the man.
So I was kind of hesitant asking Chad, but I mean, you took it. I mean, you took it under your wing, dude, and you took it. And
well,
the games, I didn't see your first couple of games, but then I know the second day I talked to you, Trey, and I think before I was like, if you guys win your next couple of games, I think you guys are in, and I think you agreed. And I went over and watched those games in Woods, and you guys were friggin' balling, man. I mean, you guys they were playing hard. And, you know, all I could see was the tape, but I could hear Chad, I can hear some other guys in the center and on the other side. But you guys played your ass off, and you guys did what Smoke had never done. Well, first, guys, you never had a practice going into that tournament.
We hadn't met most of the people.
Yeah, most of the people you guys, my Florida guys hadn't met the St. Louis guys. I know Trey and Jake and Chad had all played together, but other than that, you know, that was it. But you did what Smoke never did, was make your first semifinals in your very first tournament. Smoke never did that.
Two things there. You know, I do remember specifically, you know, that day I got that, you know, message that it was happening. It was in my, I won't say paintball career, but in the time that I played paintball, it was always about the name on the back for me. I won't lie. I wanted to be a superstar, you know, and when I left Brass Seagull and went to Arsenal, I wanted to play pro. I got put on the AM team. That wasn't what I went there for. I left. When I went to Texas Storm, I wanted to play pro, got put on the AM team, played a year, and left. So came in here to Smoke. It was Smoke, and then we're making two teams. It was like, fuck, here it goes again. but then I embraced it the other way. I looked
Yeah,
at it
and
like,
it wasn't
what?
like it wasn't like it because the tournament
Right.
you played with us, you played your ass. I mean, you and Jeff. I mean, you guys balled. You took that snake over in the hyperball field and freaking. I mean,
It was.
you beat you shot Davey Simmons from Aftershock like that out of the snake. You know, I mean.
But
and then you owned the tank, but it wasn't like, okay, you're not good enough to play on Smoke. We're going to put you. It wasn't like that. It was we needed your
right.
experience and your leadership on Brimstone.
And my mindset has changed. You know, we've all aged, we've all matured. You know, and it literally went from, man, I'm just blessed to be able to play this game again. You know, and to play with my friends and to be back playing top level paintball. It's, you know, I mean, what we do to our bodies is no joke. I mean, all of us. And so I look at it that way. I was like, you know what? Right, exactly. I mean, it hurts. I get out of bed and it fucking hurts. I mean, my second cup of coffee, I'm like, okay, I can move. You know, you all know how it is. So I just took it that way. I was like, man, I want to play paintball. I'm blessed to be able to be in this position to play again, and fortunate enough to have the backing of my wife, my family. And so let it ride. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And like on the second half, to come in and to never played with these guys other than Mike and Trey, just at one event. And then, holy crap, yeah, to be one game out of playing you guys in the finals, to be honest. I mean, if we would have won one more of our semis, we'd have probably played you guys.
You're right there, butt dick.
Why does it look like you're in the bathroom, dude?
my battery is dying and I tried to plug it in. I spilled my coffee all over the fucking place.
That's a new nickname for you.
Butt dick.
I haven't heard that one before.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, it's awesome to be back in this ring again and to be back in it, like you said, with the family. You know, like Trey, me and Trey message back and forth. Me and Mike, we talk a lot. Shut the fuck up, Jeff. But anyways,
hey, that's what I'm about to tell you with your goddamn. I say stories forever, but your fucking ass, Jesus, you put me to shame. Anyway, back to the story. This is the deal. It's not an A or a B team or one or two teams. It's all one fucking team. Period. Even though
it's Brimstone and we got Smoke, it's Smoke. It really
that's
is
what,
Smoke. Yeah.
That's what me and Trey's touched on before. Where Trey is, you know,
Coogle,
told me
shut
like,
the fuck up for a minute, Coogle. We got the best people leading that shit. We got Trey, who's got more passion than anybody that I fucking know, and more desire to fucking win and build a fucking team. We got your old ass, Chad. Shut the fuck up. And just, you got the experience.
Tell me what to do. That's all you can.
No, I mean, and then our two camps were together in that tournament. And every time I looked over at the Brimstone guys, you saw smiles on their faces. You know, even if they came off of a loss, they still had smiles on their faces, and they were enjoying playing that game. And that's what I love. You know, watching them guys play, they were having fun playing. And you guys were close to making it out of the semifinals.
Yeah.
You guys had the same problem that Smoke did when we first got back together, was closing the games. Because the one of the games that you were up on the hyperball field in the semi, you guys had a 7-on-4, ended up losing because of Johan from damn UK Predators kept freaking shooting everybody that came through that snake.
That one in his belly, that one's for me. He knows.
But yeah, you guys, I mean, a couple practices together, you know, which we're trying to get together with all this crap going on. I think a couple practices for both teams, and it's going to be a really good season. I don't know how many tournaments we play this year, but
yeah, if we ever get to play, this damn Rona needs to just get the fuck on out.
Yeah. But I seriously think the next tournament out of anything, NXL, anything, is going to be ICC. I really do. I think that's going to be the next tournament.
Yeah.
And,
you know it's going to be a bloodbath, dude.
I know, because there's going to be a lot of teams coming in there that, you know, hasn't played at all. I mean, really.
Hey, on a side note, I'm getting diddled a little bit right now, just to let you know.
And so we were going to have a collaboration between kind of like the Smoke guys and Brimstone guys at Rico's tournament. I think it was just me and Jeff from Smoke playing, but the rest of the guys were Brimstone, right?
Yeah.
Me, you, and Marky.
Marky. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Marky Ireland.
Yeah.
Yep. Was going to play. Yeah, but it didn't happen. I was looking forward to that too. That was going to be a fun tournament.
Oh, we had
man.
yeah.
I was so looking forward to that.
I know it was going to be so much fun. We had that practice down there, and it really went good. There was mostly just Florida guys. We picked up, like Jake's dad played with us, and we picked up another guy, father's son played with us. I don't know, but we had fun. I mean, we lost the first game, and we didn't lose another game after that, just some Florida guys. So I felt really good going in that tournament, but nothing's going on right now. So that's
we had some stuff here with the St. Louis guys too, because that following Saturday we were going to play an X-Ball tournament at MPPL.
Yeah, you guys are going to have a little paintball extravaganza going on there the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
It was in Pekin, and then we were going to drive from Pekin to Kansas City that same night after playing an X-Ball tournament to play a 4-man mechanical tournament in Kansas City, Missouri, which was in the weekend after Rico. So, yeah, that it kind of bummed us out because we've been practicing like crazy up until then, and it's just, it's this whole thing sucks.
We were talking earlier, Trey, about how many miles you put on your vehicles.
Fucking rolling, man.
And you guys were finally going to fly down the last event, and then that didn't happen. So I'm like, all right.
I told you, man, with all this crap going on, I didn't want to get on no airplane, even if they were running. I got the cheapest flight I've ever seen. I never even heard of it. It was like Sun Country or some crap. I was like, they're probably going to have me sitting on a fucking chicken coop on flying in.
Hey, whatever it takes to get there, man.
So I was like, man, I'm probably going to drive again. I like driving. Number one, I got to make sure everybody gets down there. Number two, I get to bring extra shit, make sure we're all square. I can't do that on a plane, man.
Yeah, this ain't team drink, motherfucker.
So Trey and Jeff has a funny little video that we were dying at. They were what was that going to? Was that a practice or was that an event?
That was on the way down to Tampa, wasn't it?
That was for the event, the ICPL, the last.
Oh, it was, yeah, because when we were at the Airbnb, you guys were playing it. Funny as shit. I've never laughed so hard listening to this video. Trey, you want to talk about it?
What's that?
You want to talk about that video?
Bring it up on your phone. You got it on your phone?
Bro. I'm talking the Chattanooga shit wagon. That's what I call it.
They drove through some.
You can't begin to describe the fucking smell. You have to see the video, man. You have to see we could, and I didn't even start videoing probably till 5-6 minutes afterwards. We didn't even know where it was coming from, dude. But we're driving on the other side of Chattanooga on the south side. We had already come through. And I'm just like, what the fuck is that smell, man? Next thing you know, we're like, we think we passed a dead animal or something. We figured out real quick that shit wasn't going nowhere. It was just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. We couldn't breathe, dude. I'm telling you, I thought I was going to die because we couldn't take even a little breath like this. We were fucking choking up. It was so nasty, dude. We started puking out the windows. I'm swerving. I'm laughing at Jeff. Jeff's laughing at me. It was fucking.
It was funny. It was like halfway through the video, you guys you thought it was over, and then all of a sudden, boom! It hit you guys again.
I was like, oh, I think it's gone. I think nope. And the funny part about it, Trey didn't say, is he was trying to be slick and trying to video me because I was gagging. I had no idea. The next day, I said, dude, we could make some fucking money if somebody had a mask on and was videoing that shit in the back seat of your truck. And he's like, hey, motherfucker, look. And shows me the video. So that whole video was unsolicited. It was the real deal.
Oh, it was. We might put that on the YouTube channel.
It'll make you gag. It'll make you gag just listening to it.
Dude, it did. I showed it to my wife a couple nights ago, and she literally started, no, stop. She just ran outside. Dude was gone for like 10 minutes. I was just dying laughing. That's when I said, so
it took you that long? It took you that long to show it to her? It took you that long to show it to her?
Oh, she ran out. I never showed her. I just told her the story about it. She couldn't deal with it, dude. She didn't even last about 30 seconds into it. She took off running. For like 10 minutes.
The commentary does no justice. It was the worst thing ever. Like and we were behind it. Like to this day, I think it was those trucks, and it had something dead. It was the worst thing ever. Like, it makes me want to throw the fuck up right now just thinking about it.
We might have to throw that. We might have to have Dustin edit that in on the friggin'.
Oh yeah.
I don't care, dude. I'm telling you, I had a partner that lived right next to a chicken. It was an egg farm, and he told me stories. They just wait around in dead chickens, man.
Chad, quit dorking yourself out, buddy.
Man, this smell was quadruple that being just right on top of that plant. I ain't never smelled nothing like it, man. And I right now I'd give you $500 just if you could promise me I'd never have to smell that shit again. Promise.
All right, Trey, you got an interesting background. I honestly probably don't know 100% of it, but I want everybody to know about you.
As far as
your music background.
Yeah.
I thought you was talking about like my mental health situation. Where
that's a different podcast. I'm interested in, because I actually come from a musical background. My biological father.
Hey, playing the skin flute doesn't count, bro.
Yeah, no. But
so it seems like a lot of people on the team dabble around in music.
Yeah.
I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but I'm actually working on a new project now. So you'll hear about it ramping up a little bit. And I was going to do a song for the team for the highlight reel that we're going to come out with later in the year. But it was around, I've been recording music since like 97, 98. That was right around when CDs were getting big. And at first, I started getting popular. Like I rap, sing. I was producing myself at the time with just a keyboard. I started doing it for a living for a long time, probably I'd say 5 or 6 years. I went on tour with Tech Nine. I toured with Vanilla Ice. We were touring college circuits. Then there wasn't really internet where you could do a lot of promotion like through the internet.
Right.
So we were hitting college towns, because in college towns, you think about it, it's filled with people from all over the world. So all during school year, they don't have nothing to do. So we're doing all these big shows with Tech Nine, and we did Vanilla Ice on one. And so your music and everything gets left in those college towns. Well, during the summer, they go home all over the world. So they would take their music with them, because they come to your show, even if they didn't know who you were. A lot of the time, they'd come to the show. So you kind of left your footprint like that, and it was great for marketing. And that's kind of how Tech Nine got really big over the next years. And now he's the most #1 independent artist in the world, because in part due to that. So after I got in some trouble and I stopped doing music, I couldn't leave. We were actually supposed to leave the country and do some touring in New Zealand. And I had to tell them guys I couldn't go anywhere because I got in this trouble, and I was hoping I could kind of slick under the radar or something, maybe. And it didn't really pan out like that. So I was like, fuck, man, I can't go. I got in some trouble. And then next thing you know, like, they exploded. And doing music, it was kind of like paintball, to where I got burned out on it, dealing with certain people, really. You know, there's a lot of politics involved in it. You got to have a team, and you know, I got burned out on it. It wasn't just music no more. It was handling and juggling everything. So I wanted out, and I stopped doing it. And it's been a long time since I really, you know, I've dabbled here and there, but since I've actually come up with a project. And now I'm working with an artist called Coco. He's a producer from a team called Basement Beats that produced Nelly's Country Grammar album that went over 10 times platinum. So it's called a diamond. Like, so one of the producers I'm working with, he's actually got a Diamond Award, and Coco that I'm working directly with has a Grammy, and we're gonna put out a project. So it's cool, man.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
No, Trey is he's being a little humble on some shit. That dude can fucking rap his ass off. That new shit that he has out now that isn't even finished is fucking off the chain. I wish I had it on my shit to play on there right now, but his shit's ridiculous. I remember giving it to fucking Be Real back in the fucking day. You gave me that sample disc and shit. Remember at the Bing Shop?
Yeah.
Fucking, I slid that shit to him. That motherfucker probably took some of your beats off there and fucking.
Didn't he just come out with something?
I'm just giving you shit. All love to Be Real and the Stoned Assassins for sure.
Yeah. You never did play for them though, did you, Jeff?
No.
Yeah, that was
just smashed the shit out of them. They sucked when we played. They sucked. I mean,
they had like one good event, right? They had one.
Yeah,
good
and that
event.
was like after Be Real stopped playing.
It was
Hey, that dude was awesome, dude, and he had mad heart and mad fucking love for the game, and he promoted the shit out of it, you know. But that was fun for him, you know. He wanted it to be better, but they just, I mean, those guys, you know me. I don't smoke before I play it in events and stuff like that. Those dudes, it didn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Anthony would tell me stories.
I remember Jeff had left Brass Eagle, and I had got some flour from me and put it in a pod and threw it in the hotel room. And Nate's rule with me was I couldn't smoke in the hotel rooms. I had to be somewhere else because I was the only smoker on the team after Jeff left. And we went out to eat and come back, and he opened the hotel room door and what the fuck? I told you can't smoke that shit. I was like, dude, it's just in a pod. That's how good that shit was back then that he had.
See, I didn't know you were Nate's little bitch. That dude didn't tell me nothing. I had no rules with that dude. He knew better. He couldn't say no shit like that to me because he knows what I told him to get bent. He knew that shit. Right.
No, but yeah, that was.
That's why you wore that Proteus mask for so long and shit too. But Trey, bust out a couple fucking beats, homie. So what's up?
Hey, cash at me a 20. Don't rap for free, man.
I want motherfuckers to hear that new shit.
Bimbo, bitch.
We'll get it off when it's ready, man.
That's cool. That's I've been wanting to ask you about it.
You don't pull the ribeye off the grill, man, and serve it before it's done, bro.
Yeah, but you know, you gotta fucking dabble. You gotta let these motherfuckers get a little taste so they know what's up. I mean,
I think we could actually, with all the guys on the team that has some music in them, I think we could actually start a band. I mean, Anthony's a drummer. I think Chuck does something, right?
Yeah, he plays. I think he plays drums as well.
When Chuck has some alcohol in him, he does everything in the world.
I can tell when he's got something in him when he's on the chat room because he goes he's just
That dude didn't say 12 words the whole weekend at the tournament, but that son bitch has 17 drinks and he's fucking talking for paragraphs and on end, dude.
Give him a bottle of Jameson and it's.
I'm like, damn, Chuck ain't said this many words in the last 15 years that he's just typed in this fucking paragraph.
Starting a revolution. I mean, it's not just, it's a fucking revolution.
It's all love.
He gets a little cocky, too. He gets a little cocky. It's fun.
I love it.
All good.
Yeah, a lot of people know about me. My biological dad and my mom, they went to the same high school as REO Speedwagon guys did. And my dad, he actually guested a couple times on REO Speedwagon as a drummer. He was a drummer, but he eventually he married Chuck Berry's daughter and played in Chuck Berry's. He was a drummer in Chuck Berry's band for years.
Wow, that's all. I never knew that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I didn't know my biological dad till probably like 10, 15 years ago and found out all this. So yeah. Now he lives in Vegas and he's a professional poker player.
Oh shit! Well, not right now. I mean, Well, they probably do the online stuff. But yeah, that's true.
I think there's a lot of musical talent. I mean, when I first heard about it, we were at the the Airbnb and the first Rico's practice, and we were all watching music videos, and Trey kept saying, this person. I'm like, damn, he must have music in him somehow.
No, that motherfucker is seriously should have blown the fuck up back in the day. I mean, when I had the store in the field and shit, and he was promoting his shit and doing it, nobody better. Like, I'm not shitting you. He raps fast as fuck, but you can hear it, and like, the words. It's not some bullshit mumble shit. It's like, that motherfucker is that dude. Nice. Heart and soul, just like anything else, man. Just fucking, you feel the passion and shit. You can see it's real deal shit.
Yeah.
So,
well, I can tell when the payments come over, and he's like, here's the money for so and so. Here's the money for so and so. I was like, dude, why are you paying for all you guys? He goes, well, because they're. I mean, I do the same thing on my side, and that's. Trey and I have had a few conversations about it, but yeah, I think it's just because the love for the game, and that's what I do it for. I don't care if you can't play. That's why Anthony, he's such a freaking good player. He needs to be playing. If I need to help him, I'm going to help him. But now he's in a situation he don't need any help anymore, so that's pretty cool. So,
right. Everybody needs help from time to time. Yeah. Like you said, we're a family. Yeah. We're going to do what it takes to take care of each other. Exactly. That's just period, point blank. So
he's got my gun today, though. I sent him my guns to do that little secret thing. Jonathan goes, what the hell's getting into Anthony? He never touches guns.
Whatever it is, all love, because to see him like that is crazy. He's never been that way.
Yeah.
Never.
I think we all want to win.
Right.
And we want to win bad, and we do everything we can to win. And, even though we did podium the last tournament, kind of wasn't a good tournament for us. I don't know how to say it. It's weird because we have games like the first game in the semifinal, we played the number 1 team, and we smoked them, like 7-up. I mean, we literally just freaking rolled them over, and they were I think they lost 1 game going into the semifinal.
None. They didn't lose any.
Oh, they didn't lose any games. And we just literally rolled their ass. I mean, it wasn't even a game hardly, I'm the bad guy, and I was on their freaking 30-yard line within a couple of minutes of the game. I mean, it was so. We all have the passion. You guys watching you guys play, you guys have the passion, you have the heart, and that's what we want. And I think we got a good cast now. I mean, I know. Just from listening to the chat room, even though we're not even playing right now, you can still hear the passion in everybody's itching to get back out and start playing again so we can get this ball.
Yeah, that's what it was at Sunday when we had to win those 2 games. That's pretty much what I was getting at a while ago. Trey, we kind of gathered together, and Trey was like, hey, listen, I mean, be here if it wasn't for this family, none of us kind of would want to do it any other way. So we kind of pulled our heads out of our asses and was like, let's go in here and let's just go win these 2 games. It wasn't like, how are we going to do it?
You guys did. I mean, and it wasn't chump teams either. You played who? Docs? Who else for a second?
I don't know who the 2 teams were. I don't remember right now, but I just remember. I think we were the only team to win both of our Woods games.
Oh, really? Yeah. All I remember, I'm watching you guys on the tape line. All of a sudden, I see Jake coming out of nowhere, and he just walks around that little brush pile. And both games, he did it. He comes out of nowhere, just comes out of the wood out of nowhere, and just sneaks around that little brush pile there on the tape and smokes, everybody that was there. It was pretty fun to watch.
It was on. I mean, that game, it was on.
Without going into the detail too much for obvious reasons, like on the code, but when you guys came up and we shared insights as y'all had been out in the wood, and we talked about a code, and when we turned it on, we steamrolled, man.
Yeah.
When it was go time, it was just steamrolled.
Right. And confidence.
And then that kind of bit us in the ass a little bit because we took that intensity into the semis, and then we had in the semis, we come out straight steamroll, and then we didn't slow down to close.
Right.
But when we didn't slow down to close, everybody's it was blood in the water, man, and it was sharks.
Yeah, and we had that problem too the first couple of tournaments.
Smart.
Yeah,
it was blood in the water, dude. And nobody slowed down the close.
As a matter of fact, that's what happened to us at ICC last year, very first game against Fight Club. We were up smoke 4.
Yeah.
And then everybody decided, oh, let's just go smack, and then all of a sudden we lose,
Yeah.
We were smoke 4 before they got any G counts,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Then you feel, when you feel like you got it in the bag, man.
Yeah. So
I think you learn from it. It's shit happens. It'll drive you crazy, but then you just learn from it and know what you did and just don't do that shit again.
And now that we learned the last couple tournaments, and now we're to a point where we needed something to change. And we've been podium, we got second place, we got third place, we should have got first place, but we didn't. So things had to change. I talked to a few different people on the team, and it was kind of a joyous. So I went to Danny, actually. I was like, hey, Danny, you know anybody who wants to coach? Because we need a coach. We need somebody to come in and just freaking lay it down. I want to go back to just playing. I don't want to worry about who's playing here, who's playing there. And he came up with Paul, and Paul's going to, coach us. So that's going to be, I can't wait to get a practice together with him. Paul DeZern, he's got a good background with him. So it's going to be fun. I get to play. Because the last, World Cup last year, I guessed it on a couple of teams, and it was so much fun just going there and playing, playing and winning. And it was so much fun, and that's what I want to get back to. The last tournament, it was fun, but it wasn't so much fun because I had to do a couple of different things that took me away from playing, and I want to get back to just playing and winning and, getting everybody back on the podium, holding the number 1 instead of number 2, number 3.
Yeah, no, Paul's a huge pickup. He's an OG Detroit-ish guy back in the day from Fusion.
And played with Fusion,
and he's not scared to tell it like it is, and that's just the way it needs to be.
And that's what I told him. I was like, dude, if you guys sit me, you sit me. I don't care. I'm the captain, but if you sit me, I'm fine. If I'm not playing good, you sit me. So that's what I told him. I had a long conversation with him and said, I need somebody to come in and just say, lay the law down, and this is what we're going to do. You don't want to go that boat.
So it's not like anybody's going to fucking get in his face and shit, because he's a big cat, too.
I noticed when he was putting sizes in there, 2 and 3X, I'm like, okay.
Funny story is when with at NAPSA, you remember NAPSA World Championship?
Yeah, I play a lot of NAPSA. Yeah.
Sherwood Forest, we were playing, and this was with Landslide. It was me, Brock, Tim, and a couple other guys, and it was the finals. It was us, Farside, Fusion, and I forgot who else. And we're just a local team, whatever, and we're playing Fusion, and it was pretty much nighttime. And I had a Bushmaster. I was up in this center little log pile. It was in pieces because I was smashing paint. My barrel was off and everything. Fucking Paul came to bunker me, and I didn't know who he was at the time. He came to bunker me and came over the top. And Thomas Osterhoff, that was another guy. He played with us on Brass Eagle before. Blew him to bits as he was coming to get me. And he stood over the top and shot the fuck out of me still, and then was motherfucking me saying that I shot him. And I'm like, motherfucker, my barrel is off the gun. And we literally almost got into a fist fight with them afterwards again in the parking lot and shit. And Brock's big ass is like, fuck all you motherfuckers. I will beat all your fucking asses. And him and Paul were about the same size, and Paul was the only one that fucking was not backing down. It was about to be a throwdown, and me and Paul talked about that shit, and he told her it was the fucking pretty much the nighttime naps of fucking championships in the fucking woods. That was my first interaction with fucking Paul. So
there's a couple of guys in paintball I would not want to get in a fight with. One of them is Chris Cole, because he's just a big motherfucker. Brock is another big motherfucker. Brock is solid, dude.
And think about both those dudes. They're not just big; they throw the fuck down as need be.
Yeah,
and St. Paul's the same way. Paul's just a fucking big dude, and he's not a punk. I mean, that dude throws the fuck down too. So he's gonna be a good addition. He's going to tell us like it is, and it's going to push us over the top. So I'm excited about it as well, for sure. Anyway, shout out.
I think pound for pound, this Smoke squad ain't nothing to fuck with either.
No.
Oh, fuck no. Fuck no.
And I don't know why it's always me holding people off, or, at first it was Anthony. I swear to God, even 20 years ago, I would have to hold Anthony off of somebody, even if it was the refs, and mostly the refs, But now it's Danny. Danny, I've had to hold off. First practice at Rico's, he's going after, dude, he made this guy from Annihilators. Sorry about the Annihilators. They were really good friends of ours, but Danny got upset about something, and this guy was just literally white. Was he not, Krupin?
Oh, it was.
Dude, that guy was freaking the shit out. Danny said something to him. I can't remember what the hell it was, but holy shit, that guy was like, he turned white. It was like, he was white.
we got some badasses. Fucking, I forgot about Trick or Trey down there with his golden glove shit. There ain't really many teams out there that fucking, if it came down to throwing down, they know better for the most part, because it wouldn't be pretty. I mean, but hey,
that's the thing about paintball, though. On the field, the Smoke's always been this way. Smoke, I don't care who you are on the field, when we play Brass Eagle, we wanted to freaking pound your ass into the ground. But then as soon as we get done, we're on the game, we're your best friends,
Be right over there, like, what's up, Smokey? When are you going to put that shit in the
face? He liked to get his ass pounded into the ground, literally.
Yeah, you love my ass. For some reason, you love my ass.
Dude, I remember, that's like when I was talking, me and Jonathan were talking the last podcast, we were talking about the Stiffy barrel, and I go, yeah, I like the Stiffies, and then, of course, Dustin's got to come on and say something. No, that's just the way Smoke's always been. When you step on the field with us, we just want to beat you into the ground. That's all we want to do, is just pound you into the ground.
Then right after,
right after, we're all buddies. But that's
you got to have that mentality. You got to have that mentality in this sport, or any sport you want to fucking excel at. Step on the field. If you don't know me, if the only thing you know me is from watching me on the field or in videos, you probably won't like me. You'll think I'm a complete dick. But that's not the real me. As soon as the game's done, I'll shake your we'll be best fucking friends. But on the field, fuck you. Take it.
All right.
And that's how we got to know you, Jeff, because we were really good friends with you guys from Brass Eagle. Right. And then Chad also, We were always hanging out with you guys. It was after parties or anything like that.
And then we always played you guys in the finals. That was the thing.
If we weren't playing you guys, we were playing Shock Tech or we were playing Farside. It didn't matter. The same teams we practice against constantly every weekend, we would go to Vegas. Boom, who would we play? Same freaking teams we practice against all the time. It's ridiculous. But yeah, we had a few battles. I mean, you guys got the best of us the first year. Then after that, I think we started coming back on you guys. And
after that first year of complete domination, I moved on and went to others. So we didn't play. I'm just being honest. We did. After that, on Shock Tech, we played a few times. I think we fucked you up at World Cup. Any goddamn way.
The three of you that died, I fucking shot.
I don't remember.
No, Anthony and them.
Frog. Sorry.
Anthony hated me back then. He told me he hated me because they couldn't beat us. At Memphis, in the finals, Eileen, Mama Call, and Milt. Mama Call was yelling at me.
I was gonna say, she get mad at you. She gets mad at you. You know, it's something serious.
Oh, I got a mad story.
We were playing Smoke in the finals, and she fucking was like, he's hit, and nobody was even shooting at me. And shooting, and I shot the piss out of Anthony, actually, and she was screaming at me from the side. I had to turn around and tell her to be quiet, please. I did it respectfully, but she was trying to get my head and screaming at me from the sidelines in Memphis, get him out, he's fucking cheating. And I was like, oh my God, stop, please. Like, I was, but yeah.
Sabrina says hi, everybody. She won't come into the
What's up, mama?
Congratulations on the engagement. I haven't tell her that I've told you, but I haven't told,
Krupin says Sabrina, congratulations on the engagement. Who'd you get engaged to? What the fuck? No,
I can't tell you my secret.
Hey, I can't wait to hear about the service. How's this going down?
We're still talking about it. Yesterday we decided, what was it? August or November, the months we can get married in. So we have something else in the other previous. This is number 3 for both of us. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
all right. Hey, that's the best numbers, 3 for real. It really is.
You all know Sabrina. This is the best thing that's probably ever happened. Besides my kids, the best thing that's ever happened to me. So she's one of the, and that's another thing we're talking about family with Smoke. It's not just the players, but it's the family. It's the wives, it's the girlfriends, it's the kids. Everybody embraces everybody. It all comes together. You can tell that when we're all staying together. But it's really different now because when we all played together 20 years ago, it was just the players. Nobody had families hardly. I did. I think I had a daughter when she was like 3. Yeah. Now people are married. People's got kids. And it's just like it's really cool when we all get together and
hey, but we're still gonna have we're having a bachelor party, right? Because there's another event in Aruba.
Yeah. Trey says we're gonna have a bachelor party in Aruba.
Okay, can I come?
Yeah, she'll come.
No. No.
Hey man, it was supposed to be a secret, like it's the event going on, and we gotta go.
Yeah. We're going to a strip club. She's there probably.
It's a 12-man event, dear. It's the newest thing.
Quick shout away from that shit. Quick shout out to my oldest, for real, Brooke. She's graduating next Friday with her RN, BSN.
Congrats.
She's going to be working at Barnes Trauma Center. So mad love to my kid. I'm super proud of her, and it's just whatever, That's just how it is.
All right, we're going to end this. Sorry, I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it's early. I want to end this. I wanted to do this with Jonathan, but I forgot because we talked for so long. I want to ask you guys a couple questions. I'm going to do this every podcast. All right. Favorite player besides a Smoke player? Jeff Krupin, go.
Current or all-time?
No, all-time favorite player.
Honestly, it's got to be my homie Brock.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Just.
How did you never end up on the far side roster? That's how. You got Dresser in your backyard. You got Brock in your backyard. How did you ever not play for far side? Or is that a long story?
No, it's a very short story. Basically, I thought they were a bunch of fucking nerds.
Well, they are. I hated Farside,
especially back then.
Yeah.
When it was Hansis and Chris Haas and all those guys.
He still pops up on my friggin' Facebook friend or so suggested friends.
Now John Dresser, I like John now. I didn't like him back then. I never liked. And honestly, I mean, several times I went to go hang a flag in 10-man, like with Brimstone, my first event at Cup, we played them in semis.
Yeah.
And I went to go get the fucking flag because it was double flag, and I fucking grabbed their flag, and I looked at them behind them, and I said, ha ha, nerds. I called them all fucking nerds, and then grabbed their flag, and then hung that shit, and then we went on to the finals. Like, I just thought they were like nerds.
Yeah.
But I love them now. It's all good, but that's why.
I mean, you're a mid-central guy, just like me, or Midwest, whatever you want to call it. I'm from Illinois. You're from Missouri. I've been playing against Farside since I can remember, and I hated them because they were. I mean, I'll tell them, John Rathburn and Dresser and all them guys. You guys were cheating fucks, man. Oh my God. It was almost like playing Aftershock. You could not shoot them enough. You'd shoot them. Speaking of NAPSA tournament, we were kicking their ass in NAPSA tournament and freaking shoot them. They dive into a bush and they're still alive. Yeah, bullshit. We got so many Dresser. I got in so many. I mean, it just goes back for so long. Now I know all Zorn and Dresser and Rathburn. Hell, Rathburn's sponsoring us now with JT. So,
Jamin is an awesome dude. Like, there's a lot of cool dudes, but just
TJ,
just perception at the time, and it's just I was loyal to my guys, and we just didn't like them, just like the Cardinals and the Cubs type shit.
Hated Farside, and it was like no matter what, you go far away to play in a tournament, and boom, you were playing Farside again. Like, God,
right. Oh, and back to the question of the players-wise, as far as that goes, the most dynamic player that I ever watched play, though, had to be Dearman. In his prime, that dude was as dynamic as a player as I've ever seen on the field, and as dominant as anybody is ever. So,
Chad, favorite player all time?
All time?
All time.
Yeah,
motherfucker, you have time to live.
What?
You're asking? No, never mind. Gonna shut up.
It was growing up for me. It was Rocky, of course. I wanted to play like Rocky, man. I wanted to jump over people in the stake and stab them and take the ground and just. That was it.
That video made him famous, where he jumped over the hypertube snake or World Cup. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then after that, when I as a player, when I entered the pro ranks, it was Angel Fergoza. He was always like 2 steps fucking faster than me, no matter where, because we always met in the snakes. And every time I'd get ready to dive, he's already on his belly going in. I was just like, that motherfucker. I mean, so I had a lot of respect for him as well.
Trey, favorite player all time?
Look, I was always a Rocky Cagnoni guy, man. And Jeff will tell you, I was a pig in shit because I was always an Angel dude. When I was young, everybody, like, I'm running around with, my first gun was Tracer Pump. I'm running around with Spider was my first semi-gun. And these guys would come out with Angels. I'm like, what in the hell are those with the fucking splash art and the anos and stuff? I'm looking at it. And, man, these guys, like, I'm brand new, and I'm, like, pup, dude, like 96. I'm getting bumped the fuck out. And I'm like, man, this is – what the fuck these dudes, assholes, bunkering a kid out? But I'm looking at the gun. Hey, Angels, I'm looking into them. That's way too much money. So when I was able to make enough money, I wanted an Angel. So then Krupin's like, hey, well, that's my partner in Rocky's. Like, I got you Angel. So my first Angel, I had like a Rocky IR3. He had this bronze one.
Was it Doo-Doo Brown?
Doo-Doo Brown.
Doo-Doo Brown.
Yeah. I got my hands on a dark IR3. Then I got my hands on, I really cut my teeth with this Rafa A45. And that thing just screamed, dude. It was like right when Break Game Eyes came out. And it just screamed. And I thought I was like the world. We're talking like 100 pounds ago, I'm a front man at heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I was always a Rocky Cagnoni guy on top of that being an Angel guy. You know what I mean? So that was it for me.
I would have to say, and this is the only reason I say this, because the very first paintball video I ever watched was the original Iron Man video. Remember that video? I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a
It's just them practicing, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was like a year, maybe it was a year-long tournament where they show them practicing, going to tournaments and stuff like that. But
and Little John talking,
it was Bobby and it was Doogie and all them guys. But I mean, and just from knowing the guy later on when I worked for Center Flag, working with Bob Long, but I would have to say Bob Long. And the reason why is just because of watching, that was my very first paintball video I ever watched, was the Ironman video. And I watched that thing over and over and over and over. And just, you know, just watching Bobby on that video, I have to say Bob Long. That's
99 World Cup.
Nice.
Yep, I see you, ass.
All right, Krupin, favorite tournament of all time that you played at?
Aruba. Aruba for sure. Just because we won, and it was just the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Yeah.
So.
Coogle.
First year pro, Huntington Beach in the sand.
Damn, I always wanted to go to that one. Never did go to that one. But
that was a crazy ass tournament.
Yeah. That was up there too. That was that poster the Brimstone poster was HB.
Oh yeah, that was Huntington HB. Yeah. Go ahead, Trey. Favorite tournament?
Brother, that's easy, man. Dang. With the rebirth of the 10-man movement and the rebirth of Smoke, and when we had that shit in the bag down there at ICPL in Florida, man, that was definitely moving.
2019,
we had jailed by then. I had jailed with the crew. I mean, that was easy money then.
Yeah.
Everybody knows me. I wouldn't play with you unless I loved you, and I treated paintball was like life. I wouldn't fuck with you unless I loved you. So either I love you or no in between. Either I give you the shirt off my back or I can stop a mud hole in your ass. Ain't no in between. So, and Jeff knew it. Jeff knew it when I met you guys that it was going to be straight, solid, out of the gate. So that had to be it, man, with the rebirth of 10-man and everybody meshing together and meeting Danny, you know, the voice. And he was running with us with Smoke. That shit was just a real cool ass tournament, man.
Mine,
that's a good one.
I've had a lot of them, but mine, I have to say, was IAO. When we won the IAO, that was a blast. You know, we won the 5-man. We're up on the stage, we're partying, you know, and stuff like that. And then we go play in the 7-man, and you know, a lot of guys that played in the 5-man. You know, it was fun. The 7-man was awful. I'm like, come on, I want to win both of them, you know. I think one game I shot 6 out of 7 guys. I'm looking back, I'm like, what? I have to do everything myself, you know. But that was fun. I mean, just being up there on the stage, and I mean, back then the IO was huge.
Oh,
one of the biggest tournaments of the season, you know. It was huge.
For sure.
So yeah, that was. I mean, Aruba. We won that tournament, and then we went to Aruba and won that tournament. And it was a blast.
That was the year after we did the same thing. We won IO, won the trip to Aruba.
You played on the beach, though, right? Did you play on the beach?
In Aruba?
Yeah.
No, it was on the baseball field.
Oh yeah, that's where. Okay, yeah, we won.
And we beat Strange for first and second. See, that's what's so memorable to me. When we got off the planes, they were interviewing people, and Strange, BJ from Strange is like, we're not here to enjoy this island. We're here to win this tournament.
Yeah.
And Martinez was guesting with them. And just like Mardi Gras, we had to win that last game with 4 alive, 4 in hang. And Dave Pauly got shot on the break, and we didn't lose another fucking body. And Martinez was the last guy left in the can, and I sat there, no shit, for 20 seconds on the other side of the can to make sure his ass was committed one way before I fascinated him so he wouldn't spin. And I fucking decapitated him pretty much, and then came around to the back of the can. I'm like, he's not shooting me, because we would have lost. We won by 2 points, and we weren't supposed to. And then we were on the catamaran with Doc, who paid for the catamaran, and all the Strange guys were fucking pissy. And it was Jimmy Cerevia who guested with us.
Yeah. At last tournament.
Yeah. That wholeheartedly shout out to Jimmy. Sorry for that. But yeah, that stuck out as a fun time for sure. Anyway.
All right. All right. 2 more.
Here's the thing, bro.
Yeah.
But you got 2 more questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, the biggest thing about everybody in this game is competitive. You're still playing, especially we're still playing. Everybody's a competitor. We all like to win. But for me, man, this thing is about who you're doing it with, who you're grinding with, who's going to bat for you, and who you're going to.
Exactly.
That's what always made it for me, man. Like I compare it. Like if I'm fighting, man, if I'm going to war for real, I want my brother right by me that I love and I trust right by me. That's why I was so on and off with the game all the time. If there wasn't somebody that I didn't love to death, I wasn't playing. If I couldn't push my whole unit forward, we weren't doing nothing. And I end up playing a whole lot of shit. Our whole unit didn't move forward. Shit disbanded. I'm not messing with you. I'm not playing with nobody that ain't 110. Unless you're my brother and I'm going to fight for you or kill for you, I'm not going on that field with you.
Right.
That's the reason I play, and that's the reason I brought Smoke back was because the love I have for the game of paintball, it's never left me. Even though when I retired, I sold my paintball store and business down here. I quit. I didn't want to play paintball ever again, and then all of a sudden, that fire just comes back in you, and you're like, hey, I want to get the band back together, and I don't want to play unless I'm playing with my Smoke, my brother.
Right.
I don't want to play.
You never lose that fire, man, but it's hard to keep your family together sometimes.
Exactly. So, all right, 2 more questions. Best, and even though we have sponsors, Planet Eclipse is our sponsor. You can go outside of this, but what's your best paintball marker of all time? Your favorite paintball marker of all time, Jeff Krupin.
I would have to say the OG Matrix that I first started with Smoke with, the original box Matrix,
Had the mad scientist worked on that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That by far was my favorite overall gun.
Yeah. Krupin. I mean, not Krupin, Chad, sorry.
The 06 Timmy I shot with Texas Storm. I never got checked for triggers. I didn't run a board, but with that gun, I got it. My ref pulled it every time, and it did. That son of a bitch just shot 15 to 20 balls a second.
Oh yeah.
On command. I mean,
I remember Jonathan's freaking GZ Intimidator. That thing freaking ripped.
mine without a board, it was just.
I played with Intimidator one tournament. It was at World Cup. I got it. It was when I was working for Center Flag, but somehow I got this Intimidator. I don't know if I traded a cocker for it, but anyway, I got it and I sent it off to Bob. Because Bob and Center Flag, we worked together.
Right.
I said, here, can you, I just got it. I don't know nothing about it. Just take it. I wasn't even expecting it for World Cup. I had my cocker all ready to go. And the day before we were leaving for World Cup, freaking package from Bob, he overnighted that thing to me. I played that gun ripped in World Cup, man. We beat freaking we took Naughty Dogs all the way down to the last player. We beat Trauma, and that thing was just ripping. I love that gun, but I sold it the next freaking after that tournament over. That was my one and only tournament with the Intimidator, and I loved it. But
very first thing I did when I quit, in 06, that was it. I was like $400, and the first thing I was like, I'll take it.
Now I already know the answer to this question, Trey, but go ahead. What's your favorite? Okay, what's your favorite Angel of all time? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know what this is. But they call that an A4 Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the first guns. I think it was the first gun that had break beam eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing was lethal, man. Nasty. Like I told you, Krupin got the very first one for me. I think he got it from Rocky. It screamed, dude. Like, it screamed. And it was still when everything was semi, but it still ran. It was I could hit like 28 balls a second with that motherfucker, and it would just go.
Yep.
I played one tournament with a Cobra Angel, and I hated that thing.
Everybody has one.
It was a buddy of mine's, and I'm like, I had my auto bag. I'm like, ooh, Angels are, they were up and coming. I was like, hey, can I use that World Cup? He let me use it, and I got back from World Cup. I was like, here, take this thing. I hated that thing.
No shit.
Yeah.
See, man,
It was a drop off. I think it had more drop offs than my auto mag, and I was so used to the auto mag. So I never used an Angel ever again.
Man, I always loved them, man. Never broke paint in them. So, but people in Missouri knew I was the Angel guy. If you didn't know me or know my name, I was the Angel because I always had multiple of them. Like I remember when I was one of the first people to figure out how to make an 8-1 work when they come out with the 8-1s because they moved the production from those from the UK over to China. And when they moved them from China, all the tolerances were all fucked up.
Yeah.
So when they came in, dude, they were jacked up. I mean, there's like 6 or 7 different things, bugs you got to work out. Where before, you didn't have to work out many bugs.
Right.
It's a pop it gun. So it's basically just a triple stack ego with bigger parts.
Yeah.
If people know that about it. So people, I don't know how people ended up messing them up, but always nasty. And I kind of always had a chip on my shoulder too because when I'm running around with a spider blowback and and then even when I started shooting mags and cockers, that allure was always there for the Angel because I used to get just blown to bits when I was a kid with them. So I always wanted one. So by the time I was able to afford one, then that's all I ran with.
Yeah.
So matter even if they didn't work very well, as people, I could always fix them. I was bound and determined to run with them.
Nice.
People would try to pull me in to play with them, and they're like, "Dude, you're not coming out with us."
So I got kind of 2 favorite guns. The only reason this first one is a favorite gun of mine because it was my very first gun I ever used. Now, the very first gun I ever played with was a VM68. But my very first gun that I bought with my own money was the old Tracer pump.
Yeah, that was my very first gun.
I think that's why I became such a good player because I played pump for the longest time. And it didn't bother me going out and playing with people who had the auto cockers, the auto mags. I had my pump. And when I put the bottom line on, I bought the bottom line on for it later on. I was the shit with my bottom line Tracer, man. But I think that's one of the reasons I got to be such a good player because I started out playing pump. And it was Tracers had the auto trigger on it. You could hold that trigger down and just pump the freaking thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that Tracer was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, and then I bought the autococker kit for it. Remember the autococker kit you could buy for the Tracer and turn it into a cocker? Oh yeah, that thing's. We were playing in a tournament in Iowa. It was an indoor tournament. It was like 6 below zero, and it was an old apartment building. It had like 3 or 4 different stories to it. And it's called the Duck Blind or Duck something. I don't know what it was called. But my automatic froze up very first game. What? What now?
Nobody's texting each other. Shut up.
So anyway, I pulled that freaking gun out. I had a barrel on it about that short. You could hear that thing freaking shoot all 3 or 4 floors, but it shot good the whole freaking tournament. And that's why I just like it because it was my first gun, but the Carnivore is one of my favorite guns. Carnivore, I love that. I love my Carnivore. Shooting 15 balls a second, ramping, just the noise that gun makes. The fact, I love that noise.
I had number 007. I had the 7th one ever produced, handed to me by Bud with Brimstone, the black and yellow one. And I do miss that gun. I really do.
Bud
you're hitting me with fucking questions, and then I'm responding in like seconds. Like I don't have any time to really conceptualize and then answer that shit. So you know,
Bud gave me. I asked Bud when the swing triggers first came out. I said, Bud, can I have a swing trigger? And he goes, yeah, I'll send you one. Next thing I know, I get a brand new red Black Magic with a swing trigger on it. And that was one of my favorite cockers of all time, just because Bud gave it to me. And I just talked to Bud the other day. He goes, anytime you want me on your podcast, let me know. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
That'd be cool.
He's a great dude.
All right. Last question of the night. Favorite smoke moment.
Favorite smoke moment.
Jeff Krupin.
Okay.
God damn it.
It could be anything. It could be playing in a tournament. It could be hanging out at the house. It could be road trips.
I would honestly say probably it would be the first event in Huntington on the sand with that poster, because I still have that poster, and I remember that day like it was yesterday. You know, we stayed in the Hyatt right on Huntington Beach. Milt treated us like fucking kings. I mean, we were in $500 a night hotel rooms, and it was the first event, like Chad said, on the actual sand. And I mean, I got that poster, and that's something that'll never, ever, ever, ever go away. A memory that's there forever. So,
Chad, I know yours and Trey's smoke moments have been short-lived, but you gotta have one.
Hey, my phone's on 4%, so you might lose me.
All right,
Trey, you go first.
Trey, go ahead. Favorite smoke moment?
Hey, the first thing that popped in my head when you said that, man, was when I'm over there watching the gun. Hey, the ref come pull Anthony's gun, and Anthony tells the motherfucker he's trying to look at his gun, and he's just keeps shooting. Machine gun, man. He's like, man, what the fuck, man? It ain't my fault. I got a big dick and I shoot fast. And he pulled the motherfucker. I thought he pulled him off the field for shooting. I don't even know what happened. I think he pulled a 1-for-1 because they fucking stripped us down the whole side, dude. The whole they stripped our whole side. But he was like, man, fuck you. It ain't my fault. I got a big dick and I shoot fast. And fucking me and Danny Manning are about to scalp the fucking ref. So you can picture me and Danny Manning just standing around this ref about to scalp this motherfucker. He's about to shit his pants.
All right, Chad, go ahead.
Man, it's been all of it. I'm not gonna lie. Just being back and being able to play again and to be back in the sport and to see the faces I haven't seen in 14 years and to play beside you guys and to be called a brother, you know, it's man, I ain't trying to get emotional, but it's fucking emotional, you know. I mean, it means something.
Agree.
Like I said, it means more now than I think it ever did.
Yeah.
And it's just because of like Trey and Krupin and you and Ant and Danny and Zach and Mike and just the crew, Scotty, all of them. I mean, Maddie, fuck, just it's
yeah. I have many conversations with Sabrina, and I don't think she got it until we went to the first, either the first practice or the first tournament, and she goes, "Now I get it." She goes,
right.
Now I see why you have this passion for
like
this
sitting
team.
there and teching those 25 guns. You know, it's like.
Yeah.
This is what it's about, you know. I mean, this is what you got to do to be here.
Yeah.
You know,
And then, and that's the reason I got on the big sponsorship hunt this year, was just because my goal is, you know, to have to where it's so less expensive for all you guys to play. Right. Know? And that's what my goal is, and I'm still on that goal. So, but my favorite smoke memory is Jay Deaver. Jeff, you remember Deaver?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or Coogle, I don't remember. But we were playing the original Hyperball field in Chicago, and we were playing Warp Kids, I think. And he was in the diamond, and I was behind him. And he's just, you ever know Deaver? Deaver's a funny little shit. And he was just giving this guy shit that was right in front of him. He's like, "You hear that? That's Smoke 6. He goes, "We're about ready to roll you over." Then we heard Smoke 7. He's like, "That's Smoke 7, buddy. That means we're coming around your backside and we're coming up. We're going." It was just, I mean, it was so funny. I'm trying to play behind him and covering him. I'm laughing my ass off, and it was just so funny listening to him jibber jaw this guy that was in front of him. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, I got so many memories, but
you about to die, Trey.
That one memory is fine, but all right. Well, I want to thank you.
Shout out Dustin for the website. Everybody that's watching this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Go to our fucking website and buy.
And he was supposed to be. Dustin was supposed to be on tonight, but he couldn't do anything.
Brimstone Smoke.com.
That's where this nice shirt came from.
Yeah.
Nice little dry fit shirt. It's awesome. It's like one of the softest t-shirts ever. Oh yeah, you got yours on.
Yep.
Yeah, he took our, me and Jonathan have been talking about the online store for 2 years now, and then he just took it from the basement all the way up to
an idea. He took it from an idea to a right.
So yeah, very very hats off to him, BBD for getting it all online, and Dustin just took it over. Right. So yeah.
Shout out to all our sponsors, to Kyle. He told me he's been saying what's up from Powerhouse Reg.
Right there. Bam, our sponsors.
Yep,
right there. All of them. I already went through them all, but yeah, if we couldn't do any of this if it wasn't for them. And then please check out our website, teamsmokepaintball.com. Our online store is brimstonesmoke.com. Our 2 Facebook pages, our Instagram. If you like this YouTube video, just subscribe to it, please. All the subscribers we can get, just subscribe to it. And I want to thank all you guys for being on tonight, taking time out from your families to chit chat.
All love, nothing but love for all you guys. And
yeah, man. Hope to see you guys soon. Hopefully.
Hey, and on behalf of Anthony Carr, I just want to say, man, fuck you.
Man, fuck you.
All right, guys. Thanks for everything, man.
All right, guys. Smoke another.
All right. Peace out. Smoke another. All right.
Smoke
Good
another.
night.